Good evening, it is Friday. And time for another Wearded Beirdos podcast. As a warning to those with zero sense of humor, or are otherwise, little bitches, please stop listening now. Dr. Chada and the bearded Techy will most certainly cross lines of moral decency that are well beyond the average shit fart joke you may be used to. The show is unscripted and in the moment, so who knows what will fall out of their dirty little mouths. That being stated, please give them a thumbs up, subscribe, and feel free to chime in on the conversation with a comment. Additionally, you may join their mailing list at weirdedbeirdos.com and be automatically entered into future content free giveaways. If you are willing to call in, send a text to 5500 YouTube with your name and topic, and we may give you a call. And now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, the funniest duo in their personal universe, the Wearded Beirdos.
She's going to be coming through on our stream and her stream? Who? Jenny? Should she stay?
As long as she's muted, now we're good. You can see the chat and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all that matters, as long as you can have access to that. And we're live. Hello.
Here we are.
Jenny decided to sit in her chair today.
Mm-hmm. Hi.
She's still tucked behind there, but
yeah.
Worst case, you can duck down below.
Right.
I can't remember if I gave a shout out to the Periscope people yesterday or last time or not. Anyway, we had like 3 viewers on Periscope, which I didn't do anything other than just add it to the stream because our provider allowed us to have 3 simultaneously. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and now Periscope. I just created a Periscope account.
Excellent.
So we've had 3 viewers.
Excellent.
So yeah, with not doing anything to it.
That's my favorite.
Is it?
Yeah, when you just set it and forget.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I logged on. Oh wow, we had like 3 people have watched it, which is kind of awesome. No one said anything like that, but it's still cool that someone cares. And we have I want to give a shout out to whoever the Irish podcast listener is. So our audio stream goes live tomorrow. After this show, I'll finagle with the audio, and then I put it up as a podcast. But we have a consistent viewer from Ireland, or a listener from Ireland. And so I'd like to give them a shout out if they're, give us a text at 530 YouTube if you're just curious, because they're like 10% of our listenership is from one place in Ireland. Everybody else is from America. But we have one. I don't want to know how they found us, how they stumbled upon us, who they're listening through.
They could be on a VPN too, though.
I mean, possibly, but they're consistent. So you're saying it's you
in Ireland? Yeah, I mean, that'd be great. I would love to talk to somebody from Ireland.
Yeah, like how did you stumble upon us to begin with? Like,
exactly, like. Because we're niche. We're very niche. So we're hard to find.
Yeah, you've got to be looking for us specifically. But we're on Apple now. I don't know if I told you. So
good. That's excellent. So they have to approve it or something?
Yeah, it takes them the longest. But we use Anchor FM as our podcast host, but then they submit us to everybody else. And I didn't get a confirmation that we were on Apple. I was like, man, let me go check. And I just typed this into Apple one day, and there we were. And so I'm like, oh, so
excellent.
Yeah, so now we're on pretty much the major 3, which would be Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple, and a bunch of others like Breaker, Radio Public, places places I've never heard of. But we get random listeners from different places that are like, is a podcast addict or something like that. We get random ones from and such. So
we got a comment.
Yeah.
Already? Oh, let me switch it over. Like I'm already dropping the ball. Hey, Mandy Ray. That's right. You could have said, hey, everybody, not just me specifically. But I appreciate the love. Thanks for listening or watching.
Yeah.
So today, possibly have 2 guests. One for sure. We're going to give her a call here in a second. But I'll let her go into details, but she's a social worker by day, a divorcee, and does cam shows to supplement her income. And she actually has one. I was texting with her prior to the show, and she actually has one scheduled. I don't know what this one is, so I'm curious to see what today's show is going to be. She sent me clips, so I know what she looks like, but she's never allowed me access to her actual stream because of confidentiality. She says she likes to vet. She doesn't know who's looking for it. She doesn't want to, put her child at risk for what. She's a single mom. The reason she's doing it is to pay bills. But at the same time, she don't want to put her job and her child's welfare.
Yeah, so we're not going to be showing her face
or boobs or anything like that.
Yeah, you're not going to get to see any titties.
Yeah, unless Jen's down, you're not going to see anything. So.
Yeah, no.
But
not today.
If we can get her 6 months in jail, We can
Well,
try and negotiate
not
that.
illegal though.
What's that?
How would she get 6 months?
Jen.
Oh.
We know what she'll do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll take your time for you.
Okay, so we're gonna call her. We're gonna get her story. I'm interested, and I've been doing a masterclass. You know, those masterclass things. And there's one guy
For webcams? Or
no, it's just to enlighten myself.
Oh.
And there's one guy, I can't remember his fucking name all of a sudden, but he's an FBI hostage negotiator. Chris.
is he the one doing the class? So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, like, okay.
So he talks about like how to talk to people to get them to like, warm up to you. And it's really, you get like mirroring, like they say something and you're like, oh yeah, I work here. Oh, you work there. That's very interesting. And just kind of like repeat what they say back to them.
I don't think that would work on me though. But I guess if you're aware of it going on, but I'm also big on words and conversations. I think my shield is up as an only child, so I didn't have a lot of outside bombardment of conversations.
He says to mirror and to label, to give him like, wow, you're a really smart guy, or like, wow, you have some really great skills. Like, as you're listening, and just you randomly label them and repeat what they say.
Interesting.
And that gets them to like relax and warm up to you. There's a lot more to it. It's just like that's like the first lesson.
Interesting. So what brought you to want to do that? You're gonna go into
I listened. Is
this part of our kill kit?
Well, because it's like it's a way to talk to people and get what you want.
Gotcha.
Because he does like he does classes for big businessmen who need to negotiate powerful deals, and like big like where you go into a meeting and like you're trying to sell a service from your company to another company, and it's like in the boardroom, and you're pitching an idea, and how do you talk to these people without them like going to a negative headspace? How do you get them to want your product, like how to the psychology behind it. And I was just thinking like, man, I could use that like in everyday life. Like there's so many things, like when you want to buy a car or something and you want to negotiate, or when you're at when you're just trying to get to know somebody and you don't want them to get defensive.
Right. So it's like the art of negotiations are pretty much the master class, or
yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a really interesting class. I downloaded it. I put it on my Plex. I'll add you to my Plex.
Okay.
And then you can. They don't like you downloading that their master classes. I have to
because once you download it, goes on the tour.
I have to like go into the inspector for the web page and find this certain link, and then I have to go into Linux, and there's a YouTube command line tool called YouTube DL, and I put it in, and then it downloads it through the command line on the Linux, because you can use Linux on Windows now as a subsystem.
Nice,
but you don't get a desktop. You only get a terminal window.
Gotcha.
Which is fine, because at this point I'm pretty familiar with a lot of the commands and different things. It's actually really fun once you get the hang of it. Just typing in commands and all of a sudden it works. It's like, holy shit!
When you're using it on me, the negotiation, let me know after.
Yeah,
I want to see if I pick up on it, because if you start doing that to me, it's like, oh, your name's Jeremy. Huh? I know a Jeremy. Like if you start doing shit like that, I want to, because I don't know. I guess it's I don't have enough conversations with people to where if you were to switch that over, I would like to think I'm smart to pick up on that right away.
Yeah.
But if you're smart enough to get caught, or if you're dumb enough to get caught, you're dumb enough to be.
Yeah. And he says
to fall for that.
Do things like to use your late night DJ FM voice because it's soothing, talk to them like this, or, be really positive. And when you tell them, how much is this deal going to cost? You don't even want to know how much this is going to cost. It's going to be way too much. You're going to hate this deal, but we're going to have to go with 35,000. I know that's high, but that's the way it's going to be. To like smile and laugh and
Gotcha.
Like give him like that like you're a straight shooter kind of thing. You want to give that straight shooter image.
Mm-hmm.
And so you talk like, I know you're going to hate this deal. You're going to hate this deal. All right, but we're going to have to go 35,000. I can't, that's the way it is. I'm sorry. And then, they kind of it disarms them, like the smile and the, it feels like they're being, they're not cutting the shit, So there's a lot more to it.
That's funny, because when I was we got to call her in a minute. When I was thinking about going into because I'm doing jiu-jitsu, my body just it takes a beating. And sometimes I just wanted to throw some kicks and punches. And so I thought about like going back to Taekwondo or something like that. So I went to this school, and the guy, when I asked for the price, I always go in, I want to know the price. Mm-hmm. If you start to throw stuff at me, I'm done. And like, I'm going to stop listening. Okay, I'm out. I asked you for a price, you want to give it to me. And he's like, well, we're kind of expensive because we have been around for a long time. And right there, he lost me, because at that moment, I already know you're doing what like that, like you're trying to hostage negotiate my money, essentially. And I just, at that moment, I shut down. I just waited, and he eventually told me the price. And I'm thinking, just because you've been around the longest doesn't make you the best, right? You should have led, well, we've been around a long time, and we're actually one of the best schools in the area. Maybe go that route. But as soon as you say, well, we've been around a long time, now you're saying I got to pay extra because you've been doing it for 6 months longer than that school. So yeah, it was. So maybe he took that class.
Well, he
was very good at it.
He needs to work on his pitch. That's all.
Yeah.
Everything is sales. When you come down to it, everything in life is sales. You got to sell. You want something, you got to sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So everything's negotiation.
Yeah. Everything everything comes down to selling. You got to sell yourself, and that's what it is. It's just.
But you got to do it without sounding like you're trying to sell me.
Exactly. You got to break through to them and make them think that, if you were to see me later, like if you were a stranger and we did a negotiation and I were to see you in a coffee shop later, I want you to like me enough to say, hey, how's it going? Come up to me.
Right. And have the confidence because you built rapport.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I want them to be able to come up to me and have a conversation because of the relationship we built in the negotiation. And the lesson is like, it's really simple, but it's hard to master. And he says, just try it on some meaningless stuff, stuff that, is not going to cost you big time, because it's going to take a lot of practice to really get it down. Yeah. So, when you want to negotiate, negotiate with the hotel manager, negotiate with the Starbucks guy, you do it with small things first, and then work your way up, and you'll build your confidence, and you'll build your skill, and eventually you'll be able to negotiate and
that makes sense.
Implement these tools.
If you don't have the confidence to even start the conversation, you've already lost. But I'm always big on the answer was no if I didn't ask.
Yeah, exactly.
And so what you're gonna do is, if I ask you a question like the person I was talking about that I'm trying to bring in as a guest, he was gonna say no if I didn't ask, or he didn't know. It was already a no if I didn't. So let me go ahead and throw it out there and see what happens. And so hopefully we can land him. But we're forming this late on our first guest. The second guest doesn't really know we're gonna call. So we talked about him in the last episode. That was the guy that looks like. I can't wait. I want to read the email too before. Does she show up as a contact on that end? If not, go to
what's her name?
Deleted email. I can't say it on the air, but go to deleted emails, and it should be there because she sent a text recently.
Okay, deleted emails. So trash.
Trash, yes. It would have came from that number.
No, I'm not. Your account help center form. This email was sent to you because you indicated.
Sorry, folks. We're going to have Jenny entertain you for them in the meantime.
Her name? Mandy?
No, I'm not going to say it out loud. Why you keep asking? Let me go to the email. Hold on. Give me 1 sec here. Go to trash. Yeah, it's right there. That's the phone number.
Okay. Because it wasn't... I saw that, but it didn't have any identifying information on there, so... All right, calling.
To those that are listening, make sure this will be our first phone call, so make sure if you can't hear the other person talking, because we can hear the phone ringing right now. If you can't hear it ringing, let us know.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, this is Jeremy, and we got...
This is Steve.
And this is Jen.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. So sorry about was it 2 weeks ago? You're going to be actually our first guest, but now you're technically our second. So we're all warmed up and ready to drill you with questions about So I've already told everybody that you do like webcam stuff. You're also a social worker by day. And so we're not going to say your name. We're not going to say any variation of your name just because we don't want to let on anybody. So what led to from A to B? Or you guys can introduce yourself before.
Yeah, is there anything you want to
without saying
say
your name
and just tell us a little bit about you and your life and whatever you think is.
Well, it's well, I don't even know where to begin. It started right after my divorce, which was the end of last year.
The camming started, so you signed up for a service that.
Initially, I was just selling panties, actually.
Oh, okay.
But
new without tag.
There's a lot of websites that allow you to do that specifically. But one of my friends, she started an OnlyFans page, and it was doing really well. And she encouraged me to give it a try, and I did. And yeah, I just went from there.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So it's pretty lucrative then. You feel like it's worth the risk.
I mean, I try to be a little more careful than a lot of the people I know that are promoting themselves on other social media platforms. I don't do that. I try to really limit who gets access to it. Just because I don't want it, out there like it's easy for someone to screenshot it and share it after that.
Right.
So, yeah, but I feel like it's worth it. It definitely helps me afford to live in addition to my income from social work.
Do you still sell the panties on the side?
I don't, no.
Oh, why you give that source? Was that not as lucrative? Is that why you went to the other direction?
I mean, you have to buy the panties, and then there's some odd requests, and it was not worth it.
What was your markup? Like 10%, 20%?
On the panties?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 25% because the website that I was using took a small percentage as well.
Man.
Okay.
It's a racket.
Wow. Can men do this? Can men sell their panties?
Or do you want to buy someone's underwear?
Possibly. I mean, so is it just women who are selling their panties?
I mean, as far as I know, I'm sure there's men. There's definitely men on OnlyFans. So, absolutely.
Is it kind of like an auction kind of platform?
Ooh,
yeah,
that would be...
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Let's see if I can sell my drawers.
So how much have you sold your panty, like the most? The largest amount that you've sold your panties for?
I think the most expensive pair I sold was for $55, which is like
nice.
The pair itself cost me like $4 or something, and there's just some weird things that
Nice.
So do you buy your underwear new, or would you like go to the Goodwill? Is that why they were? I don't know what women's underwear cost because I don't go around buying them myself.
No, for that type of thing, I would buy them like cheap, like at Walmart or something. Unless they wanted lacy underwear, then that would be more. But
gotcha.
Most people they don't want to spend it because they're doing weird things with it. So.
Sure, yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah, someone's robbed a store with your underwear on their face. Are using like all those memes we see with the people wearing the corona mask and someone's underwear?
Yeah,
those are probably yours. I'm sure we did a DNA swab. So what's the weirdest request you got or you received for the underwear? Because you said you get weird requests.
Yeah, like when I was selling panties, I got a lot of weird requests, but like doing the videos and the photos now, I definitely get a few, I don't know, difficult requests, I'd say. But I try to accommodate. Like the weirdest one, when I was selling panties, this guy, he wanted me to wear them for like 3 days in a row and like masturbate in them and then send them off to him. So that was, it was just gross. I don't like to wear underwear that long, but then I had to like include photos. Like he wanted like documentation, so I couldn't just say, yeah, I wore them.
She had like buy today's paper and hold it up next to the underwear.
That's like really, that's really picky. Like,
especially because you're only making, okay, so out of that $55, how much did you make? So I'm assuming that's what you're going to be charging for 3 days of your time.
Well, on that 55, I think I made like $40.
Oh, that's not bad. Well, that's including the price of the underwear?
Yeah.
Okay, so
those happened to be a pair I had already, so I didn't actually count them as
like, so throwing them away, Okay.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So
yeah.
Okay, so just to get a little like background, you became a social worker when?
I became a social worker pretty much straight out of college in 2010.
Okay. And you've been working consistently, at various counties, and you really enjoy the work, then, I assume.
Absolutely, yes.
But it doesn't not pay well. It's kind of.
No, it does not pay well, and I don't want to leave the field because it's something I really enjoy doing. So I would rather supplement my income than find, a better paying, legit job. Not to say it's not legit what I'm doing, but
you get healthcare benefits and everything through your work, right? I mean, it's a government position, so there are bonuses to working there, but the pay is it's not as high as it should be.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably similar to like a teacher's income.
Okay, and when did you get married? Did you get married straight out of college too, or?
No, I got married in 2014.
Okay. Yeah. And that relationship lasted how long?
I was with him from 2011. We got married in 2014, and then we divorced at the end of last year. We had one child.
Okay. That's difficult. So I said that must be difficult. How did the divorce go? Was it really difficult? Did he make it hard, or was it something that you guys were like? Okay.
No, I mean, I told him I wanted a divorce. I'd been thinking about it for a long time. It was just, there was nothing left between us, and he lost it when I told him. I mean, he threatened me with his gun. He tried to kill himself. I had to call the police. He was in he was in a mental, like a hospital for 3 weeks. And I mean, it was really bad. He's better now, like as far as his mental health, and he's able to take our daughter and not be as aggressive with me. So I don't know. I guess I just take it one day at a time. But yeah, it was not good. It did not end well.
Oh, that's terrible. Sorry to hear that. But well, at least he's doing somewhat better. And so when you guys were together, he was helping pay bills. He was bringing in money, and that made life a lot better. But now that you're single, you're kind of missing that income that he was bringing in.
Yeah, definitely. When we were together, I mean, I worked, but I didn't work like my actual job. I didn't do it full time. I was working maybe 15, 20 hours a week.
Okay.
And I was home with our kid. He brought in like all the income.
Oh, okay. No, that must be a tough transition. So I assume you're working full time now, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
I work about 50 hours a week.
Wow.
That is crazy. Is that including your your side gig?
No, that's just my social work job.
Man, where do you find the energy? Like when you're working, 10-hour, 12-hour days, and then you got to go home and you're thinking, now I got to go perform for so-and-so and, for some session or whatever. And you got to get into that headspace of like, I want you. And this is so amazing. And it must be,
you got to sell it.
Yeah.
I try to keep like when I film or when I do shoots 2 specific days per week. So I usually do it Fridays. or Saturday mornings, because that's when my daughter's not here.
Okay.
Otherwise, like, yeah, I work a full day. I have to come home and I have to be mom. And, you know, the last thing on my mind is getting, you know, sexy and trying to film it. That's why I keep the amount of people on there limited, because the amount of content I post is limited, and I want to make sure that it's like quality content. So when I'm filming, when I'm shooting, you know, it takes a while, and I try to put special things in there so that I don't have to do it every day. Because, you know, my other friend who does it, like, she's filming every day. I don't know. I mean, she has a full-time job. She's also a single mom. I don't know how she does it. I couldn't do that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the effort it takes. So do you have a whole setup with lights, camera, and microphone? I mean, it sounds like you've got a lot of equipment. You know, you're trying to make it look as professional as possible, or?
I try. I know. I mean, some of the earlier stuff was like I just did with my iPhone, because it's not bad quality. But now I have a camera with like a microphone, have some lighting. Most of my videos and stuff I shoot are like solo. Only recently did I start introducing a male, just this guy that I'm kind of seeing.
Okay, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because last week was, not last week, 2 weeks ago would have been when you were going to come on, and she could only be on for a little while because she was going to do her first on-screen or on-video facial soon after.
Yep.
And so the guy that you, how long were you dating before he's like, will you skeet in my face on camera? Or was this like an ongoing, like you had to butter him up?
We're not even really dating. We see each other like once or twice a week just to, you know, have sex.
Okay.
Nice.
And
sweet.
he knows, like, I told him what I do right away, and he was all about it. He was like, oh, if you need any assistance or whatever, let me know. And
of course, he's a dude.
Yeah, I'm happy to help.
Exactly.
Anytime.
So, yeah.
I haven't talked with Steve about it yet, but we can.
He was fine.
I haven't talked with Steve about it yet, but we can take your video quality to the next level.
Yeah, we're really into the.
Yeah, we get all the gear. So if you want to make do a ridiculous stuff, we can do special effects, and Jenny can do your makeup.
Yeah, I can.
You can trim it up. Jenny will be your fluffer.
Yeah, I could trim it up.
Just do it.
Okay, so like you've sent me a couple clips, and you denied me access to the facial video because you want to vet. So with the new guy, how do you know that you can trust that he's not going to expose you? Because I'm assuming were you friends first, or did you meet like as a date type situation, or how did that progress into what we're doing now?
The guy that I'm hooking up with.
Yes.
We met on Tinder.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Tinder.
I mean, yeah, I was just looking for exactly what we have. So it worked
he was
out
lucky
really well.
that he won the lottery there.
Right. Yeah,
because there's like 30,000 guys looking for that one girl.
Just it, yeah.
Yeah. That's he's lucky.
I suppose.
So what does it take to do these videos? Like, mentally, physically, what does it take to be one of these models who does this, you know, as for money? I mean,
confidence. I don't know. I feel like some people would say that maybe they like try to disassociate and not be there, but I think it's better to be in the moment. I'm a very sexual person, so I like doing it. Like it, you know, when I'm in that mindset, when I'm in that zone, I'm turned on and I'm ready. I'm not like faking it. So
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I think we would be able to tell as dudes on the other side. At least I would.
Yeah.
Because for me, I remember when I saw it was a Halle Berry was topless in Swordfish.
Yes.
Yeah. But you look at that scene, she looked extremely uncomfortable.
Right.
And so then in turn, it made me uncomfortable. Sorry if you just watch that movie, just because in that moment you could tell she did not want to do it. They probably gave her a ridiculous amount of money to do that, and then but you can tell she was not in it. And then you see her in Monsters Ball, and you see what's his face is nuts, and that just took me out of it. Anyway, sorry to sidetrack. So let's talk. So if Jenny wanted to start, how does she start?
I mean, you go OnlyFans.com, you sign up. They have you send in your ID, like you upload it, make sure it's like actually you, and you're 18, and then you just start posting content. You can set your price limit. You can approve your followers, and then you can share your link wherever you want, and just try to get as many followers as you can, as many fans as you can.
So it's not like a live kind of thing where you aren't. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So how do you?
So you take requests, like someone submits a request, and then you record the video and then upload it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's a really simple way to do it. So you don't have, no one's like watching you while you're doing it. It's like you're not live on a cam, like, and they're like commenting and talking to you and you're not doing anything live.
Correct. Right. Nothing live.
That probably takes the pressure off, because being live.
Yeah, because if you mess up and
you got to deal with people who are like, there's just be so many people like wanting so many different things and saying so many different things, and you just gotta. I mean, responding to comments can be stressful.
Oh yes, yeah. That's how Jenny came to be, because we would get comments, we would forget, and then 10 minutes later, the conversation would be completely somewhere else, and then we realize there's a comment. So you just make the content, put it up. Now, can people request certain things?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get like the fans that I have on there. I have 25 right now, so it's not like a whole lot. But
they're paying like a monthly price, right?
Yeah, they're paying monthly.
Okay.
Like a recurring monthly price. They like a few of them will just be silent. They'll just take whatever I post, and they can tip on her post. Like if they want to tip me, they can, which is great. But some of them, like, they want something specific every time I post something, and I can't like appease every person. So some of them will get upset, and they'll just threaten to unsubscribe, and I have to do. If I want to keep them around, I have to do things outside of that. So I have like a Snapchat, and I'll send them snaps to make them feel better.
So like they feel entitled to your content, and like you need to. Wow.
I would say just try and ignore those people, because you gotta do you and what you're comfortable with, and just produce what you can when you can, and then the fans will come. That's like what we're doing. Like, just do what we want, and then people will eventually will come. You just gotta get that viewership, and it just takes time for people to get noticed. And I think
we didn't care the first episode. We just sat down and started talking.
Yeah, it just takes a little time to get a viewership, and you will eventually get a lot more people, and then you won't have to worry about every little request that comes in, because you only have those 25 fans, and you don't want to lose them. That kind of thing.
Right.
Having a small viewership, I mean, that definitely adds the pressure, but I would try not to stress about it, because those guys aren't really, they're not gonna.
Yeah. They're pretty easy to please. Like,
that's good.
Most of them are young, and you send them a titty pic on Snapchat, and they're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, we're not complicated creatures, but some of them can get kind of overbearing and entitled. Mm-hmm. So how do you promote? Yeah. Like, you can't just go on Facebook and post links, because you have to keep your daughter and your profession in mind. So how do you go about like promoting without promoting to the wrong people?
So, funny enough, I actually use Tinder. At the very bottom of my Tinder, it says like OF babe, so OnlyFans babe, and then it has my Venmo. So I've gotten a few just random Venmos, and then they'll request like, can I have your link? And I have to like ask them a few questions, make sure, because my ex made a fake account one time and tried to get in there. So
are you using your real name on your Tinder?
I'm sorry?
You're using your real name on your Tinder, or you use an alias?
No, I mean, it has a fake name, but it's my pictures.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, makes you less searchable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tinder's kind of hard to like search anyway.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. I just swipe.
Yeah, Tinder. I have no clue how to work that shit.
Now Grindr, on the other hand.
Oh, fuck that.
That's funny. So they find you. So most of your marketing is done through Tinder, which is interesting. Yeah, because I've been to OnlyFans or Fans Only, only because I knew that you're on. And so I went into the site and like it's pretty locked down. So I would think it'd be once you got the people that are probably dedicated to the cause, because once they're in, they're in. And since they have to Venmo you first, I think Venmo you have to use your real name and stuff, don't you? I don't know if you can cloak.
You don't have to use your real name on Venmo.
But it's attached to your account, your card, so you've got their real person. So they got to pay.
But they don't see that.
Oh, I don't know how that goes.
Right? Yeah, they're not going to see your
like
card information.
The Cash App.
Yeah, Cash App. Yeah, you don't have to use your real name. Cash App is amazing. I love Cash App.
It's like the cryptocurrency of the.
It's like it makes it so easy to send money to people. Like so easy. Cash App, and then you could buy Bitcoin. You could send Bitcoin.
But you have no guarantee through Cash App though either, right? No Whereas Venmo is PayPal, so you're back. You can't get screwed over as fast on it.
I don't know. I've never gotten screwed over on Cash App, so I don't know.
Oh. Did you want to put your Venmo on the air so someone wants to send you some money?
No.
Okay, I thought I'd ask. And so there's a shoot tonight, right? So because it's Friday.
Tonight, yeah. I mean, the guy that I see is coming over, and he's gonna help me just do a solo with I got some new butt plugs.
Oh, fancy.
So,
Jenny just got some as well.
Yeah.
Like a big afro.
I got him at the pet store.
Yeah, that's a Black Lives Matter one.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's just
Big fucking black fist. The fuck.
So he's going to. So is he going to be active, or he's just going to help you film?
No, he's just gonna kind of watch. He likes to watch, and he helps put in the butt plug, but he's not going to be in the video.
That's nice of him. You got to get yourself there. You got yourself a keeper. We'll definitely get a joint bank account.
I don't know.
Do you want to give him a shout out right quick? Or?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say his name.
Does he have an on-screen name? Because you did the facial last week. Did he have like an on-screen name?
Daddy.
Okay. Is that his idea or yours?
I don't.
Is that his idea or yours?
It just kind of happened, and he went with it, so I went with it.
Yeah, that's a simple guy. So, how many butt plugs did you purchase for tonight's episode?
3.
So, if I am a fan and I say, "Hey, can you just pop that out, put it in a baggie, and send it to me?" How much does it cost?
Send me the butt plug. Oh my god.
These are expensive butt plugs. I probably charge like $150 for that.
Okay, but I'm saying I'm trying to help you out here because I'm thinking the whole panty thing. The whole time you were talking about the underwear, like missed opportunities. You can make pretty good money off of that. If you're wearing it for 3 days, you should make a decent amount of money. And you can get like a GoPro and go jogging and go all kinds of crazy stuff, like exercise and get paid for all that. Like charge them by the hour. Like I'm gonna go do this for the hour. But if you bring the panties over to the Fans Only or OnlyFans? I don't know. I keep forgetting. Okay, so OnlyFans. You bring them over to OnlyFans, and as you're doing the video, you can say, "Hey, or you can put them on eBay or wherever you're gonna put them somewhere, and then like say, if anybody wants to purchase the underwear from this week's episode, this is the price." You can get yourself a PO box or something like that, and then you can
I've had requests like that.
I'm telling you, you can get a nice little side hustle going on. Like the butt plugs, just say what do they cost? $50-$60. And just, I mean, put it out there. If the answer is no, if you don't, but you can make a decent amount of side money that supplements what you're already getting, because if they're willing to tip and do all this stuff, they're willing to take it to the next level.
Yeah, but I mean, I got to draw the line somewhere.
Okay. From this point on, I'm your business manager moving forward. Jenny will run audio. Steve will do cam work, and we're We're gonna take this to the next level. Would you be willing to bake naked? I really want to do it.
Am I willing to bake naked?
Yeah, like cookies. Like do a baking video. Like it's just a tutorial on how to bake cookies, but you do it naked.
Sounds dangerous. Yeah.
You can have an apron on. I understand. We're not frying eggs or.
Yeah, we're not cooking bacon.
We're not making fried chicken. Yeah.
Just super basic. I mean, the oven doesn't even have to be on when you put it in. It's just because it's just show. We can have cookies already made, like in the cabinet, and you slide the cold ones in, and then slide the hot ones out that are already pre-made. The oven doesn't.
Yeah, like they do one when they do a show. Oh, and they pull it off to the side. This is what they look like when they're done.
Yeah, yeah. They don't like. Yeah, they're not cooking in those cooking shows. It's already pre-made.
It's about going through the process of you accidentally got some flour on your breasts and some syrup.
Syrup? Who puts syrup in cookies?
I don't know. But I'm just,
he obviously doesn't cook.
Yeah. I'm trying to get you to make me some of those Jolly Rancher / candies. You're hating on me. So what time does tonight's shoot start? We don't want to hold you up if we don't have to.
Yeah, I still have to shower and shave. So I gotta go in like 5 minutes.
Okay. Like your back, or what do you shave?
Damn.
My back.
I don't know how far you. I don't know how far you go into this. I don't have a hairy back, so I just assume women don't either. But you never know. Like if you say you're shaving something.
I mean, I shave my whole body, but not my back. I don't have hair on my back.
Okay, how do you know?
Good.
If you look back there, I don't know what I would do if I had a girl with a hairy back. That'd be a game changer for sure. Because that would be.
I don't think that happens quite often.
Yeah, you can probably find a Persian girl with a hairy back.
Are you Persian by chance? Before we're hating on Persians, I don't want you like hanging up on us.
No.
Okay.
That's good. All right, so I'm just curious, what exactly are you risking by camming? Like, if someone were to find out, what would actually happen? I mean, would they just be upset, or I mean, would there be like embarrassment with your family? Would they, shame you, or would what would happen with your work, with your family?
I feel like I'd probably lose my job. My family,
do you know that?
I don't even know. They're immigrants. They're super traditional. They would probably fucking disown me. Excuse me. And my ex would somehow use it against me to.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure to get like full custody of our daughter or something. So.
Okay, so since you're a social worker, if you stumble upon, so you're dealing with a case and you want to make sure that the mother is fit to come through, you do deal with stuff like that, right?
No, I work with the elderly and disabled.
Oh. Never went that
I don't know what I would do if I stumbled upon a situation similar to my own.
Yeah. Because you got to think.
Would you give him a pass, or would you turn him in? Because there's. Or
would you get a cut?
I mean, would I know the details from my end, or would I be getting it from, an ex who is adding lies on top? I don't know. I don't know what I would think.
Yeah, you'd have to verify the source of the information. I mean, if she confessed to you, like, this is what I'm doing for extra money, I don't know what else to do. And you were just it's not illegal. I mean,
it's
not what it is. It's the situation surrounding it, where it's taking place in my home, and, my daughter lives here. It's obviously not going on when she's here, but, there's no way to prove that outside, like the videos and the photos. Yeah, it's my bedroom, but there's no way to say like she's not sleeping in her room while that's happening, which, she's not. That's something my ex would say.
Yeah.
She's bringing all these random guys back, and, I don't know what he would say. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But you literally have video proof this one is the one guy. So it works in your favor.
Well,
I'm sure Daddy's got your back, right? So he's.
Yeah. He's, well, I mean, there's multiple guys, but he's the only one on camera. So.
Okay.
Good. All right. Well, yeah, I think it's not fair that society, is the way it is, like judging, work like that. Like the way that it's interpreted, and how people react to it, I think is unfair, because it's I don't think it's wrong or immoral, but a lot of people do. A lot of people are religious. A lot of the laws that are made are based on religious concepts, and everyone wants to be doing the right thing, and they want to shame people for doing the wrong thing or being too sexual. I think it's too bad the society is just anti-sex.
I think I mean, for the most part I'd agree that society's anti-sex, but it like depends on who, because like a man, you're for the most part you're like have sex and get laid as much as you can, and as a woman it's like you have more than 3 partners and you're a slut.
Yeah,
you want to take pictures
which
of
is
yourself
crazy.
naked. Like,
there's
a double standard there.
There wouldn't even be a society if it wasn't for sex. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, let's have a patient whose mother used to smoke weed and all that stuff and went through that whole phase. We live in a state where weed is legal, where she forbids her child who was 26 years old to smoke weed. I'm like, well, why are you so hypocritical? Like, it was okay for you, and it was illegal then, but now it's legal, and you want to, raise hell. It's the weirdest double standard that people set on things, like that do as I say, not as I do type thing. But at the same time, get over it. That's how you become the person that you are, by trial and error. So it's weird, and what you're doing is victimless. Like, nobody's getting hurt. You're supplementing your income. You're having a good time, and you're expressing yourself the way you want to. So, yeah.
Well, maybe one day society will think the same. But until then,
we can't stop people from being racist, let alone anything else. So.
Yeah. Well, society is moving in the right direction, and it's moving, more quickly than it was, 5 years ago. In the right direction, like with the BLM movement, and then the Antifa movement, and they've got all these people like you who, all these activists who are coming out, they're protesting and making these concepts, people aware to these concepts and why they're why they should change and things like that. But it's such a slow the wheels of society and justice and all that, anything with the government just turns so slowly. It's just the way it goes.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
We'd like to thank you for coming on. If there's ever a time you'd like to come back on and talk about things, we'd be happy to have you on.
Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want any business advice on how to take your income to the next level, I got you.
Any audio video advice you want, we're happy to give it.
Yeah, because we literally have enough gear to make a feature film. So
yeah, we are huge audio video nerds, so we have a lot of gear, and we love getting the chance to film and to record and be behind the camera, because that's something we love to do, and we just do. We don't have enough excuses to do it. So
really, yeah.
Okay, cool. Keep that in mind. Awesome.
All right. Anything else, Miss Jenny?
I don't think so.
I'll get you set up probably sometime next week. And so.
What, on camera?
Yeah. What would you what do you have any female guests? Like you said, your friend does it. I'll get you. I know you got to get going, but you have a friend that does it. Does she ever come on your show and you vice versa?
I mean, she lives in Oregon right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody I know here does it.
Okay. Next time you talk to her, let her know that we'd be interested in talking to her if she wanted to come on our show and discuss her.
Oh, she'd probably be all about it. She's super open with it, so I'll definitely let her know.
All right. She does it like 5 days a week, or you said, right? Or every day of the week. So, but she's got some great stories.
That's her only, I think right now, that's actually her only job, because she's getting a master's. So she's in school full time. She's got her daughter full time, and she does OnlyFans. It's her only source of income right now.
Yeah, she must be killing it then.
Yeah, that's.
Yes, she is.
All right. That's what I need to go into business with then. Is she working on an MBA? Because that's crushing. Anyway, we'll get out of here because we know you got butt plugs to put in and such. So
I gotta go shave my butthole.
There it is. I don't know. Do you think it would grip better with the?
Yeah. Come on. Come on.
All right.
Let's be real.
Anyway,
Just trying to help sister out. All right, you have fun tonight, and throw us a shout out if you want on your video, and send everybody to Wearded Beirdos. And do you want to give a shout out to your Snapchat or anything like that, or you just want to keep it all anonymous?
I can do my Snapchat is proper polish.
PROPERPOLISH ish. Proper polish.
Yes.
All right.
Proper polish. Yep.
All right. Properly polish all your polished places.
That's your Snapchat?
Yeah.
And then the system, or what do you use? Looking her up. Yep, there it is. All right. Hope it gets you a few bucks. 3% is our cut. So, and with that,
cool. Yeah.
good luck, have fun, and stay safe.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I will.
You're very welcome.
Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right.
Interesting.
she's very nice.
Yeah.
Very basic. Just, man, nothing crazy. Yeah. I think that would take the pressure off. You just record. You don't have to fucking.
Yeah, I thought it was live. Like,
yeah, so did I.
Like when we do this, like this would be
just...
this would be a totally different show if we pre-recorded and edited. But then you got to edit, and so like, so she's adding a whole step to the game that she doesn't realize it's unnecessary.
Man, we could do some serious. We could do, man. If we were to get into that game,
we could take
it to the next level.
Ridiculous. Get drone footage and
we could do that. We could do that fake spy porn, like the drone outside the window.
Yes.
And she's like getting undressed or something.
Yeah, we can do the whole thing, like follow her home from work with the camera, like with the drone. We could do some really cool stuff.
God, yeah, we could do one of those porns that has a whole storyline.
Yeah.
Like those 80s porn.
Yeah.
Wait, I grew up on that. Those are the best.
I forget.
You get to enjoy a movie and then they have sex.
I suppose.
What's wrong with that? Like
I remember on HBO they had one called instead of Lord of the Rings, it was called Lord of the G-String.
Nice.
Was it a guy wearing G-strings?
No, it was a woman. It was.
Oh, okay.
And they're supposed to be elves.
My dad's dead now, but when I was younger, I was the only child. My parents liked to party a lot, and so I spent a lot of time at home. And so when Roadshow Video was the first place, Adventure Video was the first place. But then Roadshow had 3 new releases for $5, which was $5.25 with tax. And we would always go in, and I went in there so much that at like 12 or 13, I had my own membership. I could go in because my parents came with me all the time, and they would just let me come and rent whenever. They said it was okay with you. And then so one day, me and my buddies were going to rent a video, and they had a porn section in the back. My buddies were going to rent a video, and you have a late fee. I was like, for what? And he's like, white men can't hump.
Really?
So my dad had rented a porn and didn't brought it back late. So I had to pay the late fee.
Did you tell him?
Of course I did. So I had my parents. We had an open conversation. So I remember one time I came home, my mom was watching the porn. So I found this in your drawer. And was just watching it in the middle of the living room. I know she's trying to embarrass me. I think she's trying to fuck with me and to see how I would react. But she had found it, cleaned it, or put it in my laundry away or something like that, and then put the movie in just to fuck with me. But it was never really.
Yeah, that'd be awkward. Like coming home and like your mom's watching your porno that you had stashed.
Yeah,
like whoa.
But it was one thing we grew up on a very. My parents didn't bullshit with me. Like it was never like, don't do this. This is why. It was always. Like the reason I don't drink, smoke, and do drugs now is when I was younger. Like it's my stepdad. So when I refer to my dad, I'm talking about my stepdad. But he pulled me off to the side and he's like, I know you're coming to that age that you want to probably experiment and do whatever everybody's doing. If you want to drink, let me know what you want to drink. I'll go buy it. I'll bring it home. We'll sit down. We'll drink it together. And then we went across the gamut of like, if you want to try crack or any drug you want to try, I'll go and procure it, come back and we'll try it together because I don't want you doing it behind our back with your friends, get something bad and then get injured or be in a place where something could go wrong. If you're going to try it, I want to make sure that it's in a controlled environment and you're safe. And so and then at that point it removed not that I was wanting to do that anyway, but it removed the need to sneak around or the curiosity. It just took it away. And at that point it became it would have been disrespectful had I went and did it with my friends and got caught. And so the respect side of it And which is funny because the only rule when it came to sex was I couldn't have sex in their bed. Had they been like, if you want to have sex, I'll go get some girls, come home, we'll do it together, I'd probably still be a virgin.
Oh my God. So that'd be the worst way to lose your virginity.
So my dad dropped the ball on that one. But yeah, the only rule was I couldn't have sex in their bed. So
well, that's a
it was
pretty
never
basic rule.
Well, yeah, but we had conversations like this. So it was never like sex. If I had a question, I could easily come to my parents and ask them about that. I remember the first time I had crabs, gonorrhea, and chlamydia all before I was like 14.
Damn, homie.
And so yeah, but AIDS wasn't AIDS was just coming around. But I remember woke up one day, urine on fire. So I go to the door. I met my parents at the door when they came home, and I said, I need you to take me to the hospital. And immediately my dad started cracking up. And my mom's like, you have a dose? I was like, no, I don't know what that was. Like, no, I just gotta go to the hospital. And my dad's like tears in his eyes because he knows because he's probably been there, done that. And then I eventually had to just, so I think I have something. I didn't know what it was at the time, but it was gonorrhea at the time. But then, yeah, we just hopped in the car, back in the car. I took me to the hospital. I got a shot, some pills, and that was that. It wasn't an embarrassing situation with my dad laughing at me, but so the porn tape was not like, oh my God, I can't believe my mom put that in. It was just there was not a lot of secrets as far as the way I was raised. I was exposed to a lot growing up because they did a lot of drugs and stuff like that. But at the same time, they always welcomed questions, no matter how difficult the question was. They would call me my bullshit and stuff like that, and it was never a disrespectful thing. And so it was open communication.
Sure. But that's a good way to do it.
I believe.
I wonder what I would have been like if I would have had, a setup like that. Because I was the complete opposite. Like they just said, it's dangerous. Don't ever do it. And they kind of like walled it off, and it was always kind of like this mystery to me. Like, it's so dangerous,
right? And in the moment, I didn't realize until I'm in my 40s now. I'm like, man, that's the reason why. It has to be. If you just one moment in my life on why I didn't, that has to be the reason. Because my mom was like a professional joint roller, so it was always marijuana under and they had their tray. They called it always under the living room couch was always tons of weed. So I could have gotten high any day of my life. And they would have parties, and I've seen people overdose in my my living room and stuff like that. So those drugs were always around. It wasn't like how do I get it? I knew it was in the house somewhere. But the conversation that we had, like, if you're going to do it with us. Like, yeah, if you want to party, let's party. I'm like, I don't know about that because I was like, I don't want to hang out with you guys. That's not cool. Mm-hmm. And so they would get up on Friday mornings, put meth in their coffee, go to work, and then party until they come home middle of Sunday afternoon, just crash, and then be out until they wake up Monday morning and go to work. So
that's interesting.
They had a system,
right?
Interesting childhood.
So that's why I know how to play cards and darts and pool and stuff like that. I grew up in the summertime. I'd go to the bar with my mom and stuff, but it was never that big of a deal growing up. And you see things like in the bar, you see all kinds of crazy stuff. And so you're like, Mom, what was that? You ask questions. And I was never really a bad child. I think every spanking I got, I could probably count on one hand.
Wow.
And I'd probably have to sit and think like, what the hell did I do to get my ass beat? And so there was, and so it was never really I had a really good childhood. My parents are dead now. Whole another story as far as why that is not a thing. But I think I had a pretty decent. I had a childhood. So I don't know where we even got on that conversation.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah, I don't know too many parents who are like that. I've always thought that being strict is more damaging.
Oh yeah, my grandma now, whole another woman. Like that was an evil individual. And so like that, she was racist, and like the N-word was commonplace in my grandparents' house. But yeah, they love me. Like when you're in there, it's like, oh, this is how it is. And you get out in the real world, like, no, that is not how it is. You're fucking a child up. I talk to you like that.
Chris left a message. Comment here.
I feel like that skewed your outlook on your relationships and parenting.
I don't think I was meant to be a father. And that's when it comes to my children, that's like a whole other episode. I don't think I was meant to be. I never wanted to be. So I don't know if it had a factor, but I had a brain injury when I was 9 years old. And so I think I've lost a lot of the give a fuck is what for lack of a better conversation or a term, but I don't know.
What about your relationships with women? Has that Do you think that has effect?
The way you were raised?
Is it very like easygoing in your relationships? And
yeah, I've always been, I will say, two things I can say with 100% confidence. One, no one's ever had sex with me that didn't want it. It was never, I'm not aggressive. Every single woman I've ever had sex with asked. And it sounds crazy, but it's just one of them things. Like, it's, to me, sex is the ultimate gift that a woman could give me. And therefore, it shouldn't be something I have to ask for. It should be something that's given to me. So I think that in my upbringing, because of open relationship, open conversation, stuff like that with my parents, and just approaching it that way. My stepdad loved my mom to death. I grew up in a house where I saw love all the time. And so I understood what to look for. And when you're growing up, I'm an only child. So that makes a big difference in how I perceive the world as well, because I don't have a brother and sister. I never learned to lie good. And so if the lamp broke, Jeremy broke the lamp. Like, it wasn't like, oh, so-and-so or my brother or my sister. I have half brothers and half sisters. I have stepbrothers and sisters. And my mom and stepdad had a son when I was 21, but I was already out of the house when he was born. So I grew up in a household by myself. And so I think that probably shaped me more than anything else, is a respect thing. So I grew up around a lot of adults. And so they would party and do all that stuff at our house. And so I was with adults more than people my age because of that. And so I think I learned to relate and adapt. And that's why I said, if you start talking to me a certain way, I'm automatically going to see that coming, because that's how adults will try to talk to me when I was a kid. And I saw them trying to interrogate me and get information out of me, stuff like that. And so I kind of keep people. And it also helps in the realm of being a chiropractor. I'm not afraid to ask the uncomfortable questions if I need to know something about somebody. So even in my paperwork, I mean, like, we live in a world now where you can't ask about somebody's sex or their gender. I have to. Because if you have pain in your lower left side, I need to know if you have ovaries. I need to know if you have testicles. If I think you're a guy and you're a female and you have ovaries, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even think that you had a ruptured ovary, because I thought you were. So there's certain things I need to be able to ask questions like that. I think my upbringing allowed me to be more honest with situations like that, because I've seen things and I've asked questions, and I was always raised that if you don't know, ask, because if you don't ask, you're ignorant and can lead to people believing that you're stupid. So figure stuff out and ask the right questions. Will that answer the question on where we're going with that? What was the other?
Just out.
Most relationships I will let ride out, because I don't want to hurt people's feelings. It's the confronting people is probably one of the most uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
For me, because I can only see the world from my point of view, and it's very hard. And I know people go through hard times. We all have our demons. We all struggle. I've struggled with depression and stuff like from my fall and from my injury. There's a lot of emotions that I don't have. I don't have jealousy. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. That's why that also comes with being like a father. I don't have certain emotions and certain feelings towards people. And growing up, because it happened when I was so young, I was 9 years old when it happened, it became who I was. And 9, you don't know who the hell you are. Your parents don't know who you are. You're just a little asshole that's, taking all our food and money. But as you grow, like, if you were to have a brain injury now, it'd be drastic change, and we would notice immediately that something was different. But it happened when I was 9, and it became a part of who I was. And so there were certain things growing up that I would keep to myself, because why do I feel this way? Why do I act this way? I can't help. This is what I do. Fast forward to studying the human body. And then I got into neurology with Dr. Duke, and he would pull me to the side and say, hey, I've noticed you've been doing this. What's going on? And I explained the brain injury. He's, oh yeah, this is, you'll have it. And he just opened up my world as far as why I do certain things and stuff like that. I used to have anger issues, come to find out, because I have temporal lobe damage from when I fell out the balcony. I landed on my wrist. I crossed my wrist, and then my skull went into my right wrist, caved in my skull, and did damage on that side. And so when I get angry, we're all in trouble. Like, it's like I ache it probably to the Hulk. And I try my best not to get angry, but it led to, in the street, like, I would pursue people to try to pull that anger out of me. And my mom might there's always someone bigger and badder. So I'll go looking for that person just to get that rage out. As I get older now, I don't like to confront people. I don't like to get angry. The relationship I'm in now, never had an argument. We've been together, this is our 10th year. Never had an argument, never had a disagreement. We have disagreements, but never like a fight. Raised my voice once. She doesn't believe that I did. And it had nothing to do with her. It was a situation. She asked me a question. I responded. I just lashed out. And I think it was probably around national board exams or something like that. It was a stressful time. And it was just, I blew up really quick. And she doesn't remember it, but there's never been a goddamn fuck you. Like, that doesn't happen. Never called her out of her name. Never done anything like that. It's just, you learn from life. It's just, I make myself happy. She makes herself happy, and we decide to be happy together. Like, I don't think that's the way I was raised. Just trial and error, and want to live the life that I want. So I don't
Wow.
know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'll still choke her ass out. She gets out of line, but
Okay.
the potential's still there. I'm still a dude, but no. But I mean, I just try to treat people just as people. I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want my feelings hurt. I just go about my life. But I do want to call and talk to this guy that says he's confused with being a male or a female, though, if he's available. I don't know if
So we have a guy who responded to one of our emails that we post Craigslist ads looking for people to come on or who may want to possibly be a co-host. We're just seeing what's out there, and we get some interesting respondents. One here, his name, I don't know if I want to use his name, but
that's probably not his real name anyway. But
we'll just call him L.
Yeah.
So L responded, and he has informed us that he is a hermaphrodite, and that he constantly gets confused for a woman, and he it's hard for people to tell if he's a man or a woman. And we asked him if he'd like to come on the show, and he agreed, but we couldn't really nail down a time. I guess he's homeless, and he has a tough time getting internet access. What did he say?
Okay, catch people up. We talked about him last week.
He said life is challenging being homeless, and he linked his YouTube channel, and he also left his phone number. It's interesting that he uses Proton Mail. That's like a deep web email.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. This is the world we live in right now. This is 2020. He's homeless with a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And a cell phone.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, like, man, so are you really homeless? You just don't have anywhere to go other than outside.
So he's got a YouTube channel, and he's got looks like three videos, all under a minute long. You got Word of God, part 5, part 6, and part 7. His channel name is Dog Mother
on YouTube.
So if you want to check out his stuff, he's got a pretty
like an interesting guy.
Pretty decent amount of content here. Not a whole lot of.
All right, so we got to go back to. He said he sometimes gets confused if he's a man or a woman, but he has a better beard than.
Yeah, he has a strong jaw, and he has a beard.
Yeah,
so it's kind of.
I've been growing this mess for weeks now, and I'm about to shave it off because it's driving me nuts. I was trying to get that cut. I can't do it. I'm probably going to trim it today, but I don't have time.
Let's just take a quick look. Let's do one of his short videos.
You bring it up on my end?
Yeah.
What is it? What's the name? Mother Dog? Dog Mother.
Here, I'll post it in the chat. There we go. So this is the guy who is interested in coming on. This is just a quick 13-second video called Word of God Part 6. I've never seen it. I don't know exactly what it's going to be like. He's got a lot of videos with the same shirt, same background, and it looks like he's got a cigar burn right in the middle of his forehead.
Put it in the private. It won't let me copy from the regular chat. Put it in the private chat if you could. So I can pull it because I put Dog Mother in the search and it just showed a bunch of dogs. There we go. We're gonna try to call him. Or are we gonna do this first?
Yeah, we're gonna let's watch the video and then we'll try and get him on the phone.
I'll put it over here. Or not. What the hell? Did I not? Oh, I must have. Hold on. That's my fault. I promise I'm not stupid. There we go. All right. Let's pause that. Share brother screen. Want to share the audio? Share the screen.
Now, why would the dog star be the first deity ever worshipped? Well, where does life come from? How do we come into this world?
I want to talk to this guy. He seems very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like he's really trying to be prolific.
Yeah. How many subscribers do you have? This was 2 weeks, 2 views. Uh-oh. It's killing it. That was 2 days ago.
How many subs? It doesn't say how many subs.
Let me see. Now we have
3 subscribers.
4.
Yeah, let's sub. I'll sub.
There it is. All right, call
Nice.
this guy, please.
Okay, let's get it going here. $503. Got an interesting area code. What area code is 503?
I don't know.
I
I've never
have
been
no
there.
idea, but I can look it up.
Yes, we could. 503.
All right, we're calling.
Here we go.
Come on now. Here we go.
What we play like, yeah, just call me daddy. Hold on, I gotta take this call. Try negotiation voice on this one. I don't think he's gonna answer. It's Friday night. Even the homeless know how to party.
Right.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
Okay. Well, we tried.
Yeah.
You know who we never got a response from again is the woman with the drawings. She did a drawing.
Did you email her?
No, I didn't. I was thinking about buying.
I was told not to.
I was thinking about buying it.
You should. But I was told not that I couldn't reply to anybody anymore. And I like that you took the initiative and replied to the most recent one.
Yeah, I saw that you read it and didn't do anything. I was like, this motherfucker's gonna make. I'm gonna have to do it now.
From this point on, again, Jenny said she would do it.
What?
Reply to emails and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't have access to that. I haven't been able to.
I was going to send it to you, but then I saw that Steve. I'll send you the
I'll
text file has all the passwords and stuff.
Yeah.
She, the most recent woman, I think she was just like stoned because she's like, yeah, I'm on a what's a dab session or some shit, and I saw your post, and it's like she was probably just fucking high out of her mind. I was like, that sounds fun. And then she, she sees my email later when she's sober, and she's like, oh, I can't fucking do that. I can't fucking, people do shit when they're high. So she never responded. And I just kind of, went through the motions that, okay, well, first, before we even really get into anything, you have to be okay with commuting to this area. You have to be free on Friday evenings from 6:30 to possibly 10. And, a lot of people that probably is like, no, fuck no. Friday night at 6:30, I've got to be free, and I've got to commute to this point. They're probably like, I'm good. So that's a good way to weed people out.
Oh yeah, that's what I was kind of doing, but then you were hating on my approach.
You're very direct.
Yeah, because there's no emotion over email and over text.
Exactly, and so when someone reads something, they're automatically going to read it like negative with
in their head,
in a negative headspace. So you got to juice it up and make it as positive as possible, so that they read it.
Masterclass has changed you.
They gotta read it positive, like, oh my gosh, it feels if they gotta feel it like he's not trying to be mean, he's trying to be really nice kind of thing.
Okay,
because if you write an email with just a basic email and don't like polish it, people are automatically going to interpret negatively because that's just the way people read shit.
I think it's a generation thing.
Yeah.
Because you grew up in the world of text and emails and stuff. I didn't have that. So all conversations took place like this. I'd speak direct in my day-to-day life because I don't have time to be. Because if you're not direct, people want to chit-chat.
Mm-hmm.
And so I use yes and no. Because if I say, I don't know. If I say that, then people, they're going to interpret. He's not for sure. Let me try to convince him to do whatever. If I say no, I'm very matter of fact, it's no.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to do it too. I mean, that way there's no misinterpretation.
Right. This is how I come across. So, and I understand that there's no emotion and empathy and influx and stuff like that when you're having a conversation via text. So
So
That's why I hate texting.
So an idea I have for maybe future episodes was I finally found that method of a serial killer. I had to get the Oxygen channel app and like sign up, and they have it on there. And we got 3/4 of the way through it. This guy was a fucking genius,
right? Yeah, because the fact that the kill kit, he'd drop him off 2 years later and come back for like it's been chilling,
and he'd be robbing fucking banks and shit too, like on the side.
Yeah, I told you.
I was just like, wow, like this guy is amazing. And yeah, he was just giving him. He didn't want to give him any information. Like he made the interrogation really difficult because he was just like, no, I'm not giving.
Yeah, because he knew where they were going with that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get to the point where he let the first girl go?
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like he's like, oh, and she talked him out of it. Yeah. And he's like, oh,
I'll never let another one go. But I was like, Jenny asked, have there been any serial killers in Colorado? And I was just thinking,
yeah, there was a serial rapist. There's a movie about him.
I was just thinking, I have no fucking idea. And I was thinking, like, there's got to be some great murderers around that we can get in touch with. I would love to get in touch with a killer and have him on the show somehow.
That would be really difficult, considering like
the
jail rules and everything.
We could do letters to start with, and then we could put money on his books.
Yeah, we could do a whole pen and do it pen pal wise.
Yeah, we could put some money on his books so he can get a phone card. We could have him call us, and then we could have a little phone interview.
That's a great idea.
Man, the timing has to be perfect though. That'd be great.
I mean, yeah, we got to line up with, when he gets yard and when he gets phone time.
Yeah, and we can't give him any money because you can't profit off your crimes. So therefore, you can't ask to be paid for it.
There are sites that have like a list of...
I think that's varies state by state.
Oh, I don't know. What did you look up to see if there's any Colorado murders? Well, we talked to a murderer last week, but she wasn't the murderer, but she was there. But
like if he writes a book, about his murders, he can't make money off of it.
Correct.
But we're not like giving him money.
Or if you do, the family would get it.
Well, I was just thinking, I was just thinking like we would buy him a phone card for his time, I don't know how that would work, if that's illegal, just to, because the easiest way would be just to JPay him or whatever, send him $15. Well, actually, yeah, that'd probably be enough because prison phone time is cheap. County phone time is really expensive, but in prison you get like it's like 10
But doesn't our number need to be
it could be on a block list
on their okay list, or can they just call if they have a phone card, can they just call whomever?
Yeah.
Or does it have to, okay, I didn't know how that would.
You can call any number unless it's on a block list. There's a list of like numbers like that the guards will block.
Like they can't call live links.
Yeah, like you can't call 800 numbers or whatever, but sometimes
even
like
they'd like to,
right? But sometimes you'll get like guys, a woman who had a boyfriend in prison, and he was calling her all the time, so she called the prison and said, "I want you to put my number on the block list," and then now he can't call that number anymore. But that number will permanently stay on the block list. Let's say she releases that number and somebody else gets it, and she wants to get in touch with somebody at the prison. They have to make a formal request to the guards to get the number off the block list and prove that that woman is not have that number anymore and all this kind of stuff. But they do have a block list, we wouldn't automatically be on it, I don't think. So
no, but if they can call whomever, yeah. I mean, I'm not giving out my personal cell phone.
No.
We'll give a serial killer.
First of all, I don't even know my own personal cell phone.
We'll give him the Wearded Beirdos.
Doesn't necessarily have to be.
Voice.
It doesn't have to be a serial killer. I think it's a murder in general, just to see their mindset. And I was talking to the lady last week. It's like she, which her book is coming out hopefully in a couple weeks. And they added, so I saw the cover. She sent me a screenshot of the cover, and the cover has the little tag off the side, "Don't eat the chips."
Really?
And so she gave us a shout out on that, like because we talked about it in the show. I'm like, oh, it's so awesome that we contributed to that, and so hopefully that comes out soon. But my grandfather went to prison for murder in the 70s, and he had said that once you it sucked in the beginning and messed with him, he would have nightmares. He said once you got over it, you could kill again easily. So I'm curious to talk to a person that's.
I would like to talk to a multiple murderer, someone who's killed multiple people. And
yeah, we can try. Man. There's got to be.
There
We
are
just
pen
gotta-
pal sites, I think.
Yeah, we gotta look up,
Because you don't want like the well-known ones, because those are probably hard to get a hold of. So like, where do you start? Because
they're probably not that hard to get hold of. They have a lot of time to answer letters.
Right. And they're very proud of what they do. If they've
Yeah,
got
I mean,
multiple
like
I
the
don't
guys
want
who
the-
write letters and stuff, like they perfect their handwriting, they perfect the way they write letters, they make it like they have their own style.
yeah, because I want to get a guy. I killed 20 people. I'm sorry. Like, you're not. You had 20 chances to get over, like to get some remorse.
I want him to like really talk about the crime. I don't want to hear about like, oh, I've changed now. I'm not that same guy. Like I when I killed those people, it was a huge mistake. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't want to hear that.
Right.
I want to hear like, what the fuck was happening in your life that you killed these 3 people? What was it like? Who did you kill first? How did it feel? What did you use? What did you do afterwards? What did you do with the body? I want every fucking detail. And I don't want any of this. I'm sorry, guy. I've given my life over to Jesus Christ. Fuck that shit. I want to hear the fucking juice.
You got to get someone that's fresh in there.
Yeah, the one that didn't get a hold of Jesus and all that stuff. That's the thing. Like, where do you start? For one. So,
And we gotta probably get a guy who's like wasted all his appeals too, because he doesn't want to be like on camera or on camera, because they could be like, well, he was on a podcast saying how proud he was of all his murders, and then he loses his fucking appeal.
Right, and then people are coming after us. The wife that he met is going to come after us.
You motherfuckers made him lose his appeal.
So anybody who's listening and knows of a mass murderer that was in their family, if you could get us in touch with those, I think that'd be the best intro. Is hey.
I prefer no baby killers. I don't want any.
Oh no,
that's just too. That's too. I can't touch that.
Yeah, that would be.
So we're gonna eliminate that right now. No baby killers.
What's the age limit? 18 above.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I know some 16-year-old assholes that I'd probably like to kill, but yeah.
Well, if I don't care if the murderer was 16 when it happened.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that the victim was. I don't want a victim that's under 18.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to find like you there, someone that's gonna be able to talk about it.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. There's someone who's been there and lost their appeals, or who is pled guilty and who knows he's not gonna appeal his charge. Like he took a plea. Once you take a plea, you can't appeal. So,
gotcha.
You can only appeal if you went to trial.
Okay.
If you take a plea, it's done. It's a done deal.
So you're fucked at that point.
Yep.
Okay, so that was the big deal with the people. Did you watch Paradise Lost and those 3 documentaries? Those were on Amazon.
Yeah, I watched just
because
those.
The third one, they had to plead guilty in order to save the one that was going to get. He was about to die by the death penalty, but they had to plead guilty.
Yeah, and they got that weird law, like where they're like, yeah, we did it, but the government
the Alfred plea or something.
Yeah,
like that? Yeah.
It's like that's such bullshit.
Right.
That's just like a little thing the government does to say, suck this dick, bitch.
Which is, well, we don't want to go waste the resources for the real person that did it, even though every shred of evidence,
like they know that they're innocent, but they still like, we don't want to have to look for the real guy, so just say you did it, and we'll let you out.
And I don't want to mess up my track record as the district attorney, which is fucking mind blowing that the laws allow you to do that to people's lives. Because have you watched The Making of a Murderer?
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry, there's no way that I'm convinced that he did it. One, he owned a junkyard with a car crusher. Why the fuck are you gonna park the car, the person that you just killed, at the edge near the fence so everybody can see it? You literally had a car crusher right there. You could have just crushed it, smashed it, disposed of it, and no one would have been the wiser.
Yeah.
That's the main shred of evidence, right? Like, or just the common sense right there is like he had. If we killed somebody, one, where we gonna dump the body? 2, how are we gonna get rid of the car? We have no way of doing that, and to get rid of it completely. A body is easy to get rid of, but a vehicle, not so much. If you drive it off in a river, they may find it later on. A body you can chop up, burn up. We can eat, put it in the freezer.
The best way to do it is just take it to a desolate location, torch the inside, and
right. But there's still a chance.
Yeah, that they'll find like one little hair or something like that. But you just gotta, torch it as best you can, and there's only so much you can do. You just have to be as careful as you can, and hope that what you did was good enough, and just burn the motherfucker.
But then again, if you have a car crusher, like you grew up on a junkyard.
We don't have a car crusher.
No, but the guy in
I know, but what are we going to do?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, we have how we can get rid of a car. We got to think of different ways to do it. But no matter what we do, there's always a chance that we can be caught.
Yeah.
But if you have a car crusher, you make a car sandwich, smash it up. No one's going to be the wiser.
It's going to be tough to find that one, yeah.
Yeah. And you could burn it and then crush it or do whatever. But if you smash one car, smash it again and then put it into a sandwich and then compress it again, so they're going to be looking at the outside cars don't match. Like, yeah, there was way too much for them to plan, because supposedly he slit her throat in his room, but somehow clean the entire trailer, carpet, and everything. They didn't replace any carpet. They didn't replace any wall. There was no bleach to clean the blood. But yeah, supposedly he slit her throat tied to the bed. So there's no blood on the mattress, no blood this. So you're smart enough to clean an entire room where a person bled out in, but you weren't smart enough to crush the car. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, that second murder, that's tough. I think he got fucked because that his cousin or whatever was talking to the cops.
And he almost got out, but then they railroaded him back in. He almost got out like in 2018.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Brendan Dassey or something like that. But again, you talked to a minor.
He was like half retarded.
Yeah.
And they just fucking talked him into saying whatever they wanted him to say.
Ruined his life just to go after the guy because he got away with. Or he was wrongfully accused when the lady, he's not the one that raped me. Even though that the person who originally raped her had been caught for something else. They had the information for that guy, but went after him because of vengeance or whatever.
Yeah, because of his family or something.
Yeah, spent almost like a decade in prison, got out, sued them, won the suit, and so instead of paying the money,
they got his ass back in jail.
Yeah, and so you ruined the nephew's life just to get him. Like the fucking the audacity of people just.
And they started the lawyer started pointing the investigation towards that guy and his nephew.
Yeah,
and then they started getting really fucking pissed. But it's possible. I never thought to think of them that they could have killed her. The God, was it his aunt and uncle or?
Yeah, it was Brendan's father and it was the nephew's father and brother.
Yeah,
who they tried to point to. But even then, they said like the making them a murderer too was impossible for them to do it as well, just because of where they lived.
Okay.
And so, if anything, based off the video, I would think that the boyfriend maybe did it. The girl who the murdered victim's boyfriend, because he's the one who found the car. He's the one who, went into her phone from his side and erased all her voicemails. But no one looked into that because they got that tunnel vision. We already have this guys who we're going after.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't worry about the rest of this information. I think that's probably one of the biggest flaws in crime and the justice system, is because you get locked onto one thing and you can't let go. I watch the first 48 all the time. They just lock in on stuff. Oop, I guess I wasn't him. Sorry. And then you go off you were so dead set. And had you found one little shred, you'd lock that person up or tried to lock that person up for life because you couldn't let go.
Yeah. They're I think cops are always Occam's razor. The simplest solution.
Right.
Is probably the correct solution. So they just go off of, like a muscle memory. Like they see this, they connect this to this. It's like, okay, it's like putting a puzzle together over and over and over. And you think, you have a routine. So
right.
Of the way you do things, the way you solve things, the way you find people. It's just like, oh, it's got to be this guy, because it fits. This piece fits here.
Not to mention the resources they put into it, into catching that one person.
Yeah. And it's like,
oh, that's not the person. So now what are we going to do?
Right. We got to do it again.
All this money and time into this one person.
Yeah. That's shitty.
Yeah. You got HBO now. You got to check out, God, what the fuck's it called? I think it's, HBO. The Night of, I think.
A documentary, or is it?
It's a show about a guy who's wrongfully convicted of a murder, or they're taking him to court for wrongful conviction. Yeah, it's called The Night of, and it's really good. It's this Middle Eastern guy. He takes his father owns a cab. He takes his father's cab out in the middle of the night to go to a party. Picks up this chick. They go all around town, and then they do a bunch of drugs at her house, and he's all fucked up. And then he goes downstairs he comes back up and he realizes that she's been stabbed like 15 times while he was passed out.
Oh, it's like a documentary
No,
type thing.
it's not a
It's a
documentary.
movie.
It's like a show. It's a series. It's a limited series, like 8 episodes,
Right, but is it done like a documentary or is it done like a TV show?
like a TV show.
Oh, that's no fun.
It's still
So
really good.
I want the real deal. Like the Jinx. Like I love that. Did
Yeah.
you watch The Stairway? The Stairway?
Yes,
That's legit.
That was a good one.
that fucking poor guy. Like
I
they
know.
really fucked him over when they found that gay shit.
Yeah, right. It had
Oh,
nothing to do with anything.
And that
Yeah, it's like-
prosecutor, God, that woman.
They just
was a
wanted
bitch.
to like bring up like he's a queer, or I don't know what they said, but they had all this fucking like hardcore like gay porn with fisting and like all sorts of shit.
Yeah, it didn't help that he had been involved with a person that died a similar way when he was in Germany.
Yeah, the woman
That-
fell down the fucking stairs.
That's what probably got him to that point. But the fact
They
that
exhumed that fucking woman's body too.
yeah.
Like 30 years later.
But what are the odds of that happening twice? And so did you go to the wiki? 'Cause I always wiki stuff after. Did you wiki it? Because they had a theory that she was attacked by an owl, and they actually found a feather in like her skull or in her hair, an owl feather. And so the other theory was because the lacerations were just weird ass lacerations, right? And they couldn't really prove
Right.
how he did it, but they assumed that possibly she got attacked by an owl, and the owl tore her ass apart, and she ran to the house.
That's crazy.
That's on Wiki. Like you got to look at the weight that
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, because then there was the autopsy did find an owl feather.
We got to figure out why it shuts off like that.
It's you, Steve.
It's just ridiculous. I hate how it does that.
Well, it has the timer on that. We can always use your camera if you want.
Yeah, my camera doesn't shut off.
Yeah. That one's easy because it just stays there. I don't take it down. I have another.
Yeah, it would be a pain in the ass to have to like bring my camera, set it up.
Yeah. I thought about looking for like a cheap, like little handheld. Because you want the quality. You can get a webcam, and a webcam was like shit. Like there's no real good webcams out there as far as that. And they like the quality's even better. So I got the email when they gave us 3 streams to use. They also upgraded this 720. So it's a lot clearer. There's a slight little delay in the audio, but the picture's a lot clearer. But I don't know.
Yeah. So I want to get a murderer on, and we can get multiple murderers on, and we could have like a segment.
Have them brag.
Yeah.
No, I think it'd be cool to start with pen pals and just start like have a segment where you just read the letters that we've been discussing back and forth, and at that rate we can just start doing this with just pen pals in general. And so yeah, I think that would be. I mean, just any
They
kind
don't
of criminal in
necessarily
general.
need to be from Colorado, do they?
No, I don't think
They
so.
don't need to be, but it would be interesting to have local, someone we can, connect with who like, wow, that happened right over here. We know where that is. And it's like, if we wanted to, we could go visit this person. It's like,
Yeah, we do a supplemental video
Yeah.
and actually they build the channel out on that. It's like, hey, here's the episode. Do like a little like you say, finding reasons to film, and we can do our own like a small mini like documentary on the house and stuff like that, and go from there. Like I don't want to get caught into that little niche as far as a show, but I think that'd be a really interesting little thing on the side.
House? What do you mean the house?
Like just if it's local to here, we can go and visit the scene and and do like a small like a little like a 3-minute video production of like our interpretation of what happened and from like the headlines and all that stuff. There's something like I'm not from here, so I don't know if there's a lot of Colorado mass murders, but
yeah,
I had no idea about the Isaiah Keys guy.
The ones that stick out in my head are the horrible killings were from, I don't know, it wasn't too long ago. There was a man who had put his kids in barrels of, was it gas or something? I'm not entirely sure what it was, but it was some kind of like gas that he had put his kids in a
Like locally?
barrel.
Oh yeah, up in Weld County. He
What the fuck's that?
it's like
Up
bottom
north,
up,
I think.
Oh, okay.
and he all of a sudden his wife and kids went missing, and he was freaking out, and he went on the news, and he's like, I don't know what happened. I just want my wife and kids back. And it turns out he had shot and killed all of them and put them in 55-gallon drums full of crude oil.
Yeah,
Wow.
they were thinking about bringing the death penalty back.
Just for him.
Well, yeah,
For him.
yeah, because they threatened him that with that. They're like, okay, if you don't take this plea, we're going to try you for the death penalty. And they used it to threaten him, and he took the plea.
Not the craziest thing. Like, you rather spend the rest of your life in jail, or maybe 10 years on death row, because you're never getting out. Like, that's just horrifying. Like, you're willing to eat ass after 6 months. Like, it's one of those things. Like, if I know I'm going for life, I want the death penalty.
No, fuck that. Because you can still live a meaningful life in prison. There's ways. You get used to it, and you can build.
Do you
your life.
want to?
You not in the beginning, but
I'm saying
10 years in, you're going to want to keep going.
But as a free individual, I don't know, man. Like, as a free individual, like, okay, let me tell you. So, I was dating a girl. We met in Arizona. If you're watching, we met in Arizona. Ended up moving to California, and we were together years. I don't know what the time was. We had went our own way, but we still kept in contact. Like, we moved out there. Her aunt and uncle lived out in LA area. They lived in Newberry Park. They've since moved to Arizona. Anyway, so that got us to California, and she transferred with her job. And so we were dating, kind of split up, but then we still got together and did our thing. So I had a sexual relationship on the side, and my girl was still at our house. And I was a meat cutter. I was a floater, so I would just go from store to store. But I had a motorcycle, and it's kind of no one cares. So one day she invited me over to have dinner. So I left work, came over, hanging out, and she's like, "You want to spend the night?" I was like, "No, I got to work tomorrow." Even though I lived further, and she knew this, I worked closer to our house than where I lived. And she's like, "I just want you to spend the night," and blah blah, and all this stuff. I was like, "No, I'm going home," and we're in the bedroom. And her back is to the bedroom door. We're sitting on the bed, on the side of the bed, and she just balls up her fists and punches herself twice right above the eye, drawing blood.
Is it a white lady?
Of course.
Okay.
Whole other conversation. Nothing against other nationalities, but I'm not sexually attracted to black women. I find black women beautiful, but I think that might be a part of my upbringing, because black women when I was growing up were very aggressive towards me. If I would have given in, I would have been molested by black women my whole life.
Oof.
And even as I got older, like, I don't like their aggression, because I'm not a sexually aggressive individual, and I don't like their aggression towards me. And so I don't know. And not that I think black women are gorgeous, just sexually, there's zero there. So anyway, so she punched herself in the eye, and now blood's running down. Now we're in Los Angeles. We're in Encino, California. So that's the valley, or the San Fernando Valley. So if anybody, the Valley Girl, and also that's that area. It's Encino, but east of the boulevard. Some people are wondering west, because west of the boulevard and Encino is like Ballerville. Like, Michael Jackson's parents lived up at, like, Chuck Norris and all that stuff live in that little area. And so 101 in White Oak, if anybody's curious.
All right, let's keep
and
going
as the blood is trickling down the side of her face, all I'm thinking is, I'm going to jail in Los Angeles County.
Yep.
Terrified. That warm adrenaline rush comes over my body, and in my mind I'm thinking, I have to kill her, because now she's punched herself in the eye. If I leave the house, if she's willing to punch herself and draw blood, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
It would take a lot for me to punch you and draw blood, let alone yourself. So how much you just gave up all self-worth because you want me to spend the night. That's how good my dick is, by the way.
Damn.
But she busts herself in the eye in that moment. Like, wow. Like, that was the first time all this stuff goes to your head. Like, okay, she has a roommate. So I gotta get this body out, but the roommate knows who I am. I've lived in this house. I ride a motorcycle. My motorcycle's loud. Everybody knows that I'm here. And so all these things, I ended up spending the night, obviously, but it was one of those, in that moment, that was the only time I ever come to where I thought I had to kill somebody for real. Because you always think, well, what would it take for me to kill somebody? Going to LA County that's top of my list. So
Yeah, that's got to be rough.
oh, it's terrifying
Rough
in that
jail.
moment. Like, yeah, because MS-13, all that stuff is, when you think of shitty jails.
Yeah, LA County's got to be
that. Yeah.
That, and probably a couple in New York that are pretty fucking bad too.
Yeah, I don't know what counties are in, like Manhattan, like whatever, like Brooklyn, the Bronx, like wherever they go to jail.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there. I think that'll probably be it. Those two. There may be some others, like I bet you Miami would probably be kind of rough, because Miami, you got Haitians and Dominicans and all the people that are coming through. But you got a lot of people that are illegal coming up from Mexico and stuff. So maybe whatever. Is it Juarez? Is that where you cross over? In Texas?
I don't know.
It's like there's tons of places, but there's one big town where half the town is on both sides, I think. That would probably be a scary county jail too. Because it's like legit fucking gangsters that are bringing up coke and...
So I looked up a Colorado serial killer, and I found this guy. His name is Scott Lee Kimball. He's a convicted serial killer from Boulder County, Colorado. He's serving a 70-year sentence after pleading guilty in 2009 to the murders of Casey McLeod, Jennifer Markham, Leanne Emery, and Terry Kimball.
Say your last name?
He has his uncle. And Kim, so it's he killed the uncle of one of the girls. All 4 victims died between 03 and 04. After a prior check fraud conviction serving as an FBI informant, Markham remains missing and is presumed dead, while the 3 other bodies were recovered in remote Colorado and Utah locations.
See, it's not going to be good because one of his victims was his presumed dead. So if he hasn't given that up yet.
Kimball has boasted to friends of other multiple murders, but authorities have uncovered no direct evidence corroborating his claim.
All right. Do you have contact info? Obviously, we can't contact
in jail.
Obviously, we can't contact the uncle.
There was a 48. There's an episode of 48 Hours.
Is he here locally? What's the one down at Anamosa? Isn't there a Super Mac down there?
Was that in Pueblo?
Somewhere down.
I think so.
To say where he is.
I'm looking.
Okay. Just trying to fill space because.
It doesn't say which prison he's in. Scott Lee Kimball.
Okay. Did you get your paper done, by the way?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. I probably need another hour or so, but it's due tonight.
When he sent me the text that you may or may not be coming, I was like, man, I was doing this. I was setting things up and getting the television ready. I was like, man, you should just come and do your paper here. We'll help you. That'll be part of the episode of this.
Oh yeah,
helping you do your paper.
Be nice.
So next time this happens, we'll do it together. And we'll get input from people. We'll do your homework together. What's the topic what's the class?
It's in English 1009. 1009.
So it's lame.
It's about rhetoric and genres of writing, different genres of writing.
Porthos, ethos, and
yes, exactly. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that sucks.
I asked Steven and he doesn't know what they are.
Oh. Did you buy the book?
Mm-hmm.
It should be in there, but yeah, it's hard to. I took English. That was English too for me.
It's just a really hard way of looking at writing.
Unless you're a journalist, I think certain classes, and I say this now because I'm done, but I think certain classes, English 1, be done with it. English 2 has no place unless you're going to be a journalist. It really doesn't matter in the longer scheme of things. If you're going to be a journalist or something like that, or a writer, and you're going forward to get a degree in English or something along those lines, yes. But I think English 1 is perfectly fine for college prerequisites. Mm-hmm. And so, but I think it makes otherwise the English department probably collapse because who really goes to school for English?
Apparently he's in Sterling. He got charged with another crime, attempting to escape and plotting to kill somebody in 2017 while he was in Sterling.
Where's Sterling?
It's here in Colorado. I'm not exactly sure where.
Wow, he sounds like he's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely going to talk to us.
I mean, yeah, he was a snitch. He was an FBI informant.
He was the informant.
Yeah.
I thought that one of the guys that was killed was an informant and presumed dead. Mm-mm. So he was an informant before he was... Oh, man. So he
was released in 2002 to act as an FBI informant. And while he was an informant, he committed these murders.
So he wasn't a murderer before then. What did he go to jail for?
Fraud.
Yeah. Okay, I got confused. I thought the person he killed was deep undercover type situation and got snatched up.
No, so he was serving a sentence for like check fraud or something, and they let him out because he agreed to be an informant and help the FBI. But while he was an informant, he also killed these 4 people. That's actually not like a huge body count, though. I mean,
no, but how do you go from check fraud
to murder? Yeah,
to getting thrown a bone to come and work for us as an informant, and now you're a mass murderer. Yeah, 4 is nothing. I can do that this weekend. But
I mean, compared to like the Green River Killer up in Oregon River.
Yeah.
That guy, prolific.
Oh, the guy on that documentary.
Yeah.
I think it was 11. He said less than a dozen, so I think 11 people. And then the one chick, he killed her, froze her, went on a cruise, came back, thawed her ass out, put some makeup on her, and took a picture for a ransom note. Like that's a cold-blooded motherfucker. Like you just
and he chopped her up and stuffed her down a hole in a lake and went fishing.
Yeah, caught the fish, took him back and fed his family. That's a gangster. Like that's those. I want like the fact that that's just who you are.
I wonder if that guy would respond to our letters.
He killed himself. Oh, whoops.
Did he?
Shit.
He did?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You motherfucker. He killed himself?
And yeah, it's fuck. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Well, you got to. Yeah, he kills himself during the. Damn, you already know how it ends now. But he once he realizes, because they've already went and found the people, right?
In Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. When that goes public, because remember he was talking about I want to keep it on the down low because of my daughter.
Yeah. So he got really pissed off when that came out. Yeah.
And he's about to shut up and slice his wrists during the process. He never actually makes it to court or anything. Sorry to ruin it for you. I'm so sorry.
He never like gave up the evidence about the other murders or anything.
Nope, all something other than the chick they got caught with and the 2 bodies and they never found those bodies, but there was proof that there was, because of the cadaver dogs, that there was something in that corner. And what are the odds of that? That the fact that
he probably has
the house.
He probably has bodies like all over the country, but he never got a chance to tell them about it.
Right. Damn. Because they didn't play his game. Because he wanted, I'm right there. He's giving you all the information you need to get the information from him, and your ego, again, the tunnel vision shit. Your ego is like, oh, we got him now. Let's keep him on. Yeah. Shut the fuck up and listen. He wants to tell you. Like, he literally wants to tell you. All he wants is the death penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. You confess to these murders. Let's go hunt him down. Well, I'll fucking put one in your head right now.
Right.
So
yeah, patience.
Yeah.
That's all it took.
Like he just wanted to shoot the shit and he wanted to brag, and you fucking didn't want to listen. So, but the fact, 14 years, people had zero fucking clue.
Right, and they'll never know now.
Yeah, fucking idiots.
Yeah, because I was thinking, man, I can't wait to hear about all these other killings.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Oh, man.
It's all right.
But you got the gist. You got the good stuff.
Yeah,
because it's all down pretty much after. If you made it to when he got upset, it's almost over.
Okay.
So,
damn.
I'm sure I should just fucking found Sterling.
Yeah, we can see if he's there. We'll search his name and then we'll get his inmate ID.
Yeah.
His DOC number. $255-373. It's my DOC number.
Oh.
Damn, you can't even get a good view out there. It's almost to Kansas. Sterling's right there, and then here's Denver. So up 76.
That's a trip.
But he's not there now, though, right? That's where he tried to escape from there.
Yeah, so he might have gotten Colorado. Go see. Inmate locator. Here we go.
Yeah, based off. Man, I definitely want to talk to this guy now. All right, Jenny, you're up.
What am I doing?
You got to lure the guy in.
All right, I'll send him some.
He want to talk to my black ass.
Some pictures.
Yeah.
Soft porn pictures.
Oh yeah, you took it there. It doesn't have to be any.
Well, I don't know.
He's still at Sterling.
How do you get a guy's attention?
He's 53.
How do I?
Dang,
I mean, as a woman, a guy that's in prison that you don't know.
I think you just send him a letter like, "Hey, I
don't want to come off dishonest and try to like lure him in, and then all of a sudden I'm doing like this podcast
because we want to be able to read the letters.
Yeah,
I think if you just approach him like that, it's like, "Hey, we're doing a podcast. We were having a conversation. Obviously, I can't write it because I'm too direct. We can have Steve write it because he's in charge and all fucking white male privilege over here. Yeah, you just be honest, but we have to, obviously, and we're not being dishonest by sending your picture. And this is who I am. We do a podcast, and we just want to know your story. Would you be willing to, we'll throw some money in your books, get your phone card if you're willing to call in, or we can correspond back and forth in letters.
Okay, yeah.
All right, this is the guy. I posted it in the chat. If anyone wants to take a look at one of the first guy that pops up on Colorado serial killers, this is him.
You have to search because it's just the OSS thing.
Yeah, this is his page.
Okay. What was his name again?
Scott Lee Kimball. So
Scott Lee Kimball. I can't type for shit. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's got a nice beard. Ooh, it's a scary dude. That him?
Yep, it's him. Did you try the link? Or is that...
I can't click links. You got to send it to me in the... I put it up on the thing.
Because that does look like a basic link. It doesn't seem like the right link.
So 6 foot, right? 72 inches, 6 feet.
Yeah.
So he's a good sized guy.
All it takes you to is this right here.
Oh,
That's what
the main
link...
search.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'd asked that, Steve. We gave his name. We gave his...
Yeah, Scott Kimball, right?
Yeah, his mugshot looks like a fucking straight up killer. And then you got this picture over here. Was all decrepit and just trying to play the... But still, he's only doing 70 years. Was there a chance for parole? Did you say that?
2053.
So there's a good chance if we're still in the air that we can get him to come on. That's 30 years from now. 53. I can't do math in my head. That's 27 years. Is that right? Somewhere around there? I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure. Is that him?
Yeah, that's why I'm not a fucking engineer. So that's our goal, is to be able to have him on the show.
I don't know why they mask the URL. It's so stupid. So like you can't share. You have to like go search him because they mask the URL with like the main address.
There's Murderpedia link.
So sorry, people. That link I posted, it just takes you to the inmate search, which you can search him. His name is Scott Kimball. He's a male. It doesn't take you directly to the page that I'm visiting. They have a set to mask the URL with the main site, so it doesn't show up correctly. Sorry about that, people.
Wait, so he's from Montana because right here on his Murderpedia, he's got a Montana mugshot from the Montana State Prison. All right, I'm gonna do some research on him before we send naked pictures of Jenny to him.
What about the guy that went into that theater?
Oh, the Aurora shooting guy?
Yeah.
Him and the guy who put his kids in barrels of oil, they got sent to prisons way outside Colorado because they're too high risk.
Oh, okay.
We can still reach out.
Yeah, we can still reach out, but like they're not here in Colorado because they would have got fucking stabbed up. There's no way they could have left him here in Colorado.
Yeah. We can still buy him some ramen.
I bet you he gets a lot of fucking people sending him stuff for commissary.
Yeah, serial killers, like, they develop this...
Yeah, right.
This,
well, people like me.
Steve.
Let's talk to him. Let's send him some money.
Fan mail.
So we want to...
I guess I don't want to promote. I don't want to like condone their activity, their crimes. I just want to hear about it. I want to hear about their mindset, the way they did things, why they did things. I'm not condoning what they did. I'm not trying to promote what they did or, sell like, hey, this is awesome. Killing people is fun. Killing people is cool. I'm not trying to do that. I just want to hear the story because I think it's fascinating to know what's in the minds of these individuals and how they come to this point where they feel like they need to kill. So I find that interesting, and I think it's educational. So that's the way I look at it. And it's for, all this is for entertainment. We're not here to do anything else or,
Oh, I'm fascinated by it. That's why I watch those documentaries. Like I find they're hard to find really good ones because there's only a handful of people who care like to go into the detail of stuff like that. But yeah, like to me, like I know everybody in this room is capable of murder.
Yeah.
We also have an innate sense of respect for human life.
Yeah.
we're not facetious people by nature as far as what we do, but we all have the capacity to kill. And what would it take, or what is in the mindset, and what brings? Yeah, I'm curious because I want to avoid all those things. I really enjoy my freedom.
Yeah, how do you get to that point where you're ready to kill? Like you're ready, you know the consequences, and you're willing to go do this anyway. It's like what frame of mind is that? Like what's the thought process that led you to, okay, it's time for me to do this. I have to take people's lives, and this is my reasoning. This is what I'm thinking. Like the Aurora shooter, like he was mental. Like I don't even know if he could really give us a good reason, because he was, suffering some type of psychotic meltdown
right
when it was happening. So I don't know if he could really even explain, because his entire premise for shooting people was probably some wild delusion that he was experiencing. So, I mean, that's tough to explain. I mean, that mental illness part, I mean, that guy who put his kids in the barrel of oil, that's a guy I would like to talk to, because
it went down and then you took the time to clean it up.
Yeah, he was methodical. He went on the news and faked an interview and said he would, like, please bring my wife and kids back. He's just such a normal looking fucking dude.
Yeah, he was in the army.
Yeah, he just a normal fucking looking dude. And it's like, this guy, what the fuck happened? Where you all of a sudden, like, one day you're like, I'm done with this. Bam, bam, bam. You're like, no divorce, no nothing. Like, there's no other option. Like, he doesn't view any other way of, like, life other than, I'm just gonna kill them and move on, and that's gonna be it. And I don't have to deal with what was he afraid of that he needed to kill everybody in his family?
There was another woman.
There was?
Yeah.
Okay, but but just leave them.
Exactly. You don't need to kill them.
Like, every relationship I've ever been in, like, if you're not happy, just go. Like, be out. Because I would rather you be happy somewhere else. I'll get over the misery than to make our lives miserable for whatever length of time. And but we put so much pressure on people staying together and raising kids in a I think it's a white thing.
It's all religious based,
because
it all has ties to, like, Christianity and all that shit.
Oh yeah, it's all about you grow Christianity, and like my grandparents were divorced. And I don't remember. I think it was when my grandpa went to prison, and there's no one around to validate the story anymore. But my grandfather went to prison. I think they got a divorce so that my grandmother could get help from the state, because she went from being my grandfather, the earner, stay-at-home mom raising 3 children, to, oh, he's gone, went to prison, and now what the fuck do I do? And so I'm pretty sure they got divorced then, but then never got married again. But my grandma would always say, no, but there's the Catholic Church does not recognize divorce, so therefore we're not divorced. And so that's why they never got married again. But I know my grandfather always kept a separate bank account and all that. From that point on, I think everything was separate for that reason. Because then my grandmother had my Uncle Richard, who was like 2 or 3 years younger than me, but he was mentally disabled. And so she got assistance for him because she pretty much took care of him the rest of his life. And he died 2011 maybe. And so, but he went to school during the day, but he was non-communicating. Would never lived a life outside of a home if my grandmother didn't dedicate her life to him. And so they never got married for that reason, I guess. And they got pregnant with him like right after my grandfather got out of prison. That's why there's the gap between my mom's second to the youngest brother and then the baby brother, because my grandfather was in prison for murder. So, what you looking up, sir?
I was just changing for some reason, my laptop got set to power saver and the display kept shutting down. Oh, going to sleep.
Ashley left a couple comments here. She said it's an ownership thing. People view their families as property, and it's screwed up. I totally agree.
Yeah, that makes sense. If I can't have you, I'm going to put you in a barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't.
Your mind, like your
there's
mind.
no humanity there anymore.
And if you view the person as like an object that's just in your way, I mean, you're gonna want to remove that object. You're going to destroy the obstacle. You're going to overcome it somehow. And he wanted to do it with the most finality possible.
That's so horrible. I can understand killing the wife because she probably just, I don't know.
She was
but
pregnant.
the kids, yeah, it's like it makes no sense. Well, why would you kill innocent children?
Yeah, like there's a special place in hell for shit like that. Like that's I couldn't imagine. Yeah, like spanking a child is horrible. Like the feeling that it gives you, but you know it's necessary. But at the same time, it's like, oh, it's gonna hurt me more. It's gonna hurt you. Type. And my stepdad never put his hand on me until I was 14 years old when I slapped a girl on the back of her head when she's looking through a microscope. I deserved that, but I know he could have like split me in half. But the spanking, I cried because I did something so basically dishonorable in his eyes that he put his hands on me, and he raised me since I was 3. Never put his hands on me before, never put his hands on me since. Mm-hmm. And that crushed me. So it's like when it comes to a child, but man. And there was one guy, there was another woman involved with this one too, I think, but he had went bankrupt. No, he like lost all the money, he lost his job, and would go sit at the train station or the bus station until it was time to go home. Mm-hmm. And then eventually he just went and just killed all his family, and then like waited for the kids to come home one by one and popped them in the back of the head and then lined them up and then bounced.
Oh, the French guy?
Was he French? It was had a big, huge, like they eventually tore the house down. It was like,
are you watching Murder Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix?
No,
it's really good. They have like 4 or 5 episodes of like,
but they're unsolved. I like closure.
But there's still it's good. Like there's a few like where they know like this is who did it, but they can't prove it kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's really good. It's so intriguing. Like the first episode, this guy, he jumps off a fucking building, and like leaves all these weird notes, but it's so fucking bizarre. They're trying to figure out.
I know, like didn't they open up a case because of one of those? So
yeah, in Kansas, a black guy, he went to a party, and his friend left him there, and he was the only black dude out in the middle of fucking rural Kansas. It's like, man, why would you fucking leave your friend there, dude? Out in the middle, where they were already shouting the N-word, before getting into it with him. It's like, and then they never saw him again.
The black guy?
Yeah, they found his boot on the road, and like 3 months later, they found his body in a creek, and they're like, well, we can't really prove that he was murdered because
no body, no case.
I mean, the body was so degraded they couldn't give a cause of death. It had been sitting out there for 3 fucking months, getting chewed on by animals and getting eroded by the weather. So,
but it's also one of those things you can't prove it or you don't want to prove it.
Yeah,
because some random. We don't want to ruin a bunch of good old boys' lives over one black guy that was at the wrong place at the wrong time. He should have known better. Like that's the
why was he out here anyway? He put himself in this
right.
Yeah, it's like it's the victim's fault. Yeah.
If you want to be killed by racists, don't be black in a racist area. Like it's
to me, not that it's his fault, but it was a dumb decision to go to that party. I mean, as a black guy, you have to give these things extra thought before you go out in those areas, just because that's the way things are.
Yeah, that's why I keep my black ass at home.
It's like, you gotta, it's sad that he needs to think about that, but I mean, as a safety issue, like there's just so many ignorant people out there. You gotta think twice before you do shit, because you could run into a group of fucking alt-right, black hating.
And you got the herd mentality.
Yeah.
Got drugs and alcohol that are added to the situation, and you're by yourself. Who's gonna know? And did the document or the episode talk to the friend that bailed on him?
Yeah.
Did they say why he was over a girl?
He said he went to go pick up cigarettes or something, and he got lost and decided to just go home.
That was a setup.
That's what it seemed like, but the way that he was the way that he spoke, it didn't seem like he really, got lost. And
it's like that's not even a good fucking.
But how'd you get out there in the first place?
Yeah, he drove.
You drove him to the party,
right?
Dropped him off, hey, buddy, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. Do you want to come? Because you're the only black guy here? No. I'm going to think I'm going to stay here around all these races.
Yeah, and he told another guy, take him home. And the other guy, I guess, couldn't find him at the end of the party and ended up leaving without him anyway. So
Yeah,
I think it was a miscommunication.
It got fucked
kind of
on
thing.
so many levels.
Ugh, that's a setup. Yeah, I would, man.
And it took his family to find him. The police out there didn't find him
Because they didn't care. They knew who did it.
Yeah, they did a search and they didn't find him, and like they had his family had to like do like public do like a public go out and talk to the media, like get on a stand.
Right.
So and they had to like arrange like searches on their own and get all these volunteers, and then they found the body like 3 months later. Police didn't find the body.
Yeah, there's more too.
And one guy, the brother, thinks that like he's like, well, the police searched here 3 months ago and they didn't see him. I think that somebody maybe came and dumped the body, which is possible, but I don't think it's likely. I think the police just said they looked and they didn't look.
Or they saw it and like, because you growing up, and I grew up in a small town of like 30,000 people, and my parents would tell me stories of murders that were just, that person deserved it. Small community, like there's place like Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, parts of Iowa that are small and rural like that. Everybody knows everybody. Someone talked. Someone knows. You're saying a whole party full of people, no one knows anything, and your friend just happened to drop you off and go get cigarettes. Like, how good of friends were you? Because you didn't understand. You didn't read the situation.
Yeah, it was bad decision. And then how do you get fucking lost? And then
to a party you went to initially.
Yeah, it's
those gravel roads.
He just got fucked over on so many levels.
Backcountry.
Like, just people just didn't think that he was in real danger.
But you knew where the gas station was to go get cigarettes.
That's true.
Because you grew up there. Like, there's places I could, right now, based off my childhood, I could think of 3 places to dump a body right now in my hometown, and no one would be the wiser. Like, it's because there's quarries everywhere because the Egyptian capital of the world, or used to be. So there's deep quarries that are filled up now everywhere. There's a tire junkyard on the edge of town. You just drop a body in that and drop him a little bit of gasoline in the match.
Oh, tire fire. Oh, yeah. He's going to burn up.
Yeah. And then you wouldn't be looking for a body. You'd be more worried about putting a fire out. And by the time you put that rubber out, I mean, it's like a junkyard, but nothing but tires.
Mm-hmm.
That tires will fucking burn.
Yeah, hot and for a very long time. You'd never be the wiser. You'd drop them in a quarry, put a rock on. There's quarries that are so deep, there's cars at the bottom you can't get to because the water's it's so deep. And there's trees and stuff down there because it's still like land. There's dug holes, and as they were digging the hole, trees will grow. And he would never be able to go in and look for the body, let alone find one if he even knew it was there.
Yeah.
So we just got to get all
chop them up, Iowa. Just drop them in bags with rocks.
Yeah.
Or put them in like chicken wire and weight the chicken wire down so like the fish could get to the meat.
Eat it, yeah. Did you watch the Casey Anthony or the Scott Peterson documentary on Hulu?
No.
Ride that shit. I was like 6 parts.
I did watch the TLC Casey Anthony show.
Yeah.
That one was gripping.
I haven't watched that one. But watch the Scott Peterson one. It's the 6 episodes. The first 5 episodes is just kind of like his life, what's going on, this and that. And then that 6th episode, like, what the fuck? How does this not public info? Like, because there was a whole, I don't ruin it for you if you're going to watch it. But I watched another one.
This is the guy who killed his pregnant wife, right?
Yes.
And he was, they found her body in the lake or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
You going to watch it?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
Watch it. Right. You just skipped through like the last couple episodes. But at the end, you're like, wow. Like, the criminal justice system is fucking retarded.
Do you think he did it?
No.
Really?
The last episode. Just skip to the last episode. No, there's no chance he did it.
Man, that sucks.
But it's one of those things. Well, we got somebody. We got to blame somebody for it. So we've got to hang it on one individual.
That sucks to be that guy. Oh man, yeah, and everyone thinks you're a piece of shit because you killed your pregnant wife. You're a baby killer now. And so
yeah, you can never come back from that anyway. So you're forever. Like, even if you get off.
Oh yeah, even if you get out,
you're the
like,
guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you're the fucking baby killer.
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, that's the way the world works.
Oh, he had a good lawyer. That's how you, like, people just don't care. Once you're accused, like, it's innocent until proven guilty, but once it's in their mind.
Oh, did you see the documentary about what the fuck's his name? The Patriots fucking
Yes. Shit. What's his name? Did you watch it?
Mm-mm.
Did they say he was homosexual? That's what you're talking about?
he might have he shot
Aaron
those people.
Hernandez.
Aaron Hernandez. Yeah.
Yeah, but they tried to paint the picture that he was gay and all that stuff. Yeah.
He got that lawyer Baez or
I don't know. Yeah, that was a good one too. That was on Netflix.
What's his name? Fucking Casey Anthony lawyer. He is Jose Baez. That's it. Once he got Jose Baez to represent him. That's the Casey Anthony lawyer. Mm-hmm. And he got him off on the first charge. And then he killed himself or whatever.
Because they changed the laws. Because he was...
I think he would have gotten out eventually.
I think he killed himself because of the brain injury. And he was like... There was. I think that was part of it. But then he had given... Like, signed all the money over to the wife. But then they changed the laws. Like, nope. Sorry, buddy. And so he fucked... Not only he killed himself, but they changed the laws so that the wife couldn't get the money to raise his child type shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it was douchey on... They changed the laws for the loophole because he had found the loophole. As long as he committed suicide, all his pension, all that stuff, everything would go to the wife and his child, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But they changed the law in order to.
Where'd all the money go?
The victims, because of
fuck
the civil suit. Yeah, they OJ'd him.
Jeez.
Damn, what's his wife doing now? She's fucked.
I have no idea.
You know his problem? He didn't get out of his hometown. He left, but he kept going fucking back, hanging out with the same dumbass fucking people who were getting him into shit. You know, getting drunk, getting high, fucking stealing shit, going back to the old neighborhood, going back to like these people that just dragged his ass fucking down.
I had a cousin on my stepdad's side that had went to Wake Forest to play basketball. Had a free full ride scholarship. Came back, got caught selling drugs, lost his scholarship. Life was done and over with. He eventually died of cancer a couple years ago. But
Jeez.
Look, I mean, literally had.
He had it all.
Yeah, Wake Forest gave you a free college education. You want to come back and hang out on the block and hang out with your homies, get busted for drugs, and just throw it all. Like, there's nothing. And I didn't understand it until I left because it's all my friends doing the same stupid shit. Half of them are doing the same stupid shit right now. Yeah, one friend just got out of prison maybe a year ago. And he keeps going back. Like, those are the people I don't hang out with. And you just got to detach from them. You don't realize you're in that until you leave that bubble. Then when you step on the outside and look in, but a lot of people just go and can't wait to go back and get in it. Versus looking back, they want to go back first. Because we had so much fun, did all that stuff. And then you realize, okay, that's not how I want to live my life. I used to get in trouble all the time and breaking the law and just wrong place, wrong time. And then I said, fuck it, I'm up. I moved to Colorado Springs and never looked back. Like I said, I detached from all of that, family included. Like you get pulled down by that negativity because misery loves company. It's easy to get pulled back down into that. But then you realize the dreams and then the goals that I have nothing to do with those people. If they had dreams and goals, they wouldn't be wasting their time with me. Mm-hmm. And so you just and when I got to grad school, like I caught myself because as you get further and further in school, like start paying attention, you'll notice that that it gets more and more white the higher you go. Yeah. And so you find yourself when I enter a room, I innately look for minorities because if shit goes down, I need to know who my people are, who's got my back. You scan for the darkest person in the room. Oh, there's no black people. I got to find some Latinos. Oh, there's no Latinos. I got to find some Asians. I got to find something to cling on to, so I'm not that person at a party in fucking Kansas that's never found again or found 3 months later, and all you find is my boot because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Yeah. You enter a room. I scan. I try to find a person that looks like me because if I have at least one person, the odds are better. In college, as you go, community college or everywhere, black people of all ages. And you started getting to 4-year college and like, oh shit, where are they all going? And then I get to grad school. I was one of 8 on an entire campus of minorities. It's changed now because they brought in like a lot of like Puerto Rican and stuff like that. But when I got there, I was one of 8 people on campus. And so you start to latch on to them, but then you realize they're doing the same kind of shit. And then when you get together, you get that ignorant mentality because you feel so comfortable in that world, but that world is what's holding you back. And then once I was struggling in school because I want to hang out with my homies and do all this stuff. And then eventually I realized I got to stop doing this. And so I just cut all ties, did my own thing, and school got so much easier. And a lot of those people I think one of them is still trying to pass boards. I graduated 4 years ago last month. Wait, I'm 35. 3 years ago last month, or in 3 years ago in June, I graduated, and he still hasn't passed boards in order to get licensing. Because you get that mentality, you got to break free of that. He's still not been able to practice the profession that I'm in because and the farther you get away from it, the harder those exams.
So he's graduated, but he hasn't passed his
national boards, so he can't practice.
His practicals or whatever.
Yeah. Other you take, I don't know which ones he hasn't passed, but you take 4 national board exams. One is like 6 exams. You take it over the course of a day. It's like biology, biochemistry, spinal anatomy, rectal anatomy, physiology, and something else. It's like they're like a $300-$400. They're expensive exams, and you go either at your school or go to another college, and it's proctored, and there's people walking around making sure you're not cheating and doing all that stuff. You got to send your picture in. The school's got to verify that that's you. I mean, it's ridiculous the amount of measure they go to, so you can't cheat. But you take them at the end of the courses that you need to do it. And so if you're going to take part 1, because you have your basic sciences, and you're never going to touch that information ever again once you get past the early phases of what you're doing for part 1. So if you fail that exam, you can still go on and take parts 2 and 3. You can't take part 4, I don't think, until you pass the first 3. But you're no longer exposed to that information. And so you study all these classes, and then you take that exam. If you pass, you move on because the information is fresh in your mind. But then you're going on. So if you fail that exam, that information is getting further and further away. And now you're also preparing for 2. You got to take 2 on time because the information is fresh. And so some people get so far behind and they're just not doing what they're supposed to do, and they get so far. I've heard people have taken 10 years to pass them. Jeez. You got to pay the same amount every single time. And there's study guides, and there's like courses you can take to.
But that guy was so happy when he passed. 10 years. I finally did it.
Yeah,
finally did it.
But she'd had kids in the interim and all that stuff like that. But either way, you didn't take them. And there's people that had graduated before me that were still taking them when I was going through school. That just because you get caught up in living the life and having fun, and you don't realize that this is graduate school. There's a reason not everybody has made it this far. It's extremely difficult because you can graduate all day long and get a diploma. If you don't pass the national boards, you don't get a license.
Yeah,
and so you can
worthless.
Yeah, and that's the equalizer. And it's actually out of Greeley, I think, is either Greeley or Boulder is the National Board of Chiropractic Examiners. And so all the representatives from each school come together, and they can decide what test questions, like all schools would know, because everybody has their own curriculum as far as how they teach it and how they stuff like that. And so they get together to make sure that the exam is fair for all programs, that you're going to be able to, would you know the information or not? And it's set up so you can, if you don't know it, you'll still pass. But it's general information, but it's a lot of information, and it builds. Like part 3 is 2 exams, 1 day. The first half is multiple choice, and then the second half of the day is you have 10 vignettes where you have a paragraph, and you have 3 questions, and each question has multiple answers. And so if you only get 2 of the 3, you've failed the whole entire thing.
They called ethical vignettes.
It's
or is it just
like clinical vignettes, and so you'll get this person's presenting with upper left quadrant abdominal pain, and a couple other symptoms, little snippets, and then so if you automatically go, upper left, that's the spleen, and you're right here, you just forget about the lungs, the diaphragm, and all that stuff, because if you every organ that's in that area, there's answers for that organ. So if you miss something in the vignette, it's all there. Like if you go back and realize, oh shit, I didn't even see that, because I know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to take the information, process it, and break it down methodically. As far as like when you sent me the text the other day, I said worst case it was this, best case is this.
Yeah.
As soon as you tell me what you told me was going on, 7 things pop in my head at once, and then you got to try to weed through all of those, and that's the way the test is designed. It's like, we know what you're thinking because we know the information you know, but how good are you at breaking down the little stuff that we're saying in the vignette? Because it's not the obvious stuff,
Yeah.
And so that's one of the hardest exams. And then part 4 It's a 2-day exam, and you go room to room. You got a vignette on the outside of the wall saying the person that's inside has this, this, and this. And you'll go in and be actually an actor there. And then there's a proctor in the corner, and then you'll interact with the actor and try to figure out what's wrong with the actor. And you go to another room.
Will you actually adjust them?
No, because we're not allowed to adjust by law at that particular time without supervision of we have hall docs.
Okay.
Well, I went to Florida to take mine. There was the last 5 was adjustment. You just basically set up. They give you like the person had a C2, a PRC2. That's all you'll get. And you got to go in and say and you have them lay the way you would need them to lay. You'll set up like you're going to adjust, and then you'll call out your line of drive, and then they'll grade you based on that.
Okay.
And like one room is cervicals, one room is thoracics, one room is you get 2 each for each room for the last 5 questions. Because there's 25 stations. And so the only one I bombed was physical exam room. So I went because I'd already been doing this most of the day. So I was in that room. I was supposed to go in and ask these questions, but I didn't. I got to the next room and had the questions. Like, oh shit! I treated that room like I did the previous 10 rooms, and that's the one when I crashed and burned on. But I crushed the exam because you've been doing this now for years. It's no different than what I do every day now on the bus. So. But you've got to get into the mindset.
Yeah.
And so, like, I see how like cops get into that because you have all these scenarios, but you pick on one. Now I'm going to build around that.
Yeah.
When you should be building this off of the information versus most people start here.
Yeah.
If you start here, you're fucked on all the exams because it's designed to have. If you think the right answer, if you interpret the question this way, that answer is there. If you interpret it this way, that answer is there as well. So in your mind, you're right on every single question until you get the exam, and you don't get it until I think it's 60 days later is when you get the test results, and that's designed specifically so people don't commit suicide. Because you drive yourself nuts after you take it. Like, man, I think it was so hard, and then you start to talk about it's the worst thing you can do, and then by the time you forgot about it and you moved on because you still got classes to take, and then one day you'll get an email saying, hey, the test results are in. You go look, you log on to the website and find out whether you passed or failed and move on through life. So it's extremely stressful.
Yeah, I bet it is. So anyways, do we want to do just murderers, or do we want to do a rapist?
See, I thought about that when you brought up.
Or is that like crossing the line? I mean, because
I don't want to glorify...
somebody who's a rapist.
Like, do I want to know their mindset? Yes. But it's also one of those conversations. Once you tell me that information, I can't unhear that information.
Yeah, it's going to disgust us.
Yeah, it's going to be traumatizing.
Yeah, because like I said, I'm not an aggressive individual when it comes to that. Like, even watching pornography, like the BDSM pornography stuff, kind of like... I understand she probably loves it and she probably asked for it and all this stuff, but at the same time, it takes us because even though you enjoy it, you still got to find that sick fucker that is willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like, I'm not sure I want to know. I think we just I would like bank robbers. I think it would be awesome.
Yeah, bank robbers would be good.
Just arsonists, no, because
arsonists are also typically rapists. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
People who are in there for like white crime or what is it called?
White collar crime.
White collar crime. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to talk to like
money.
What the fuck were you thinking? Like, what drove you to? I think in most of your criminals in general, minus pedophiles and rapists, I think we'd be good. Arsonists, you burn stuff. You just got a fetish for. You're a pyromaniac.
Yeah.
So that doesn't count.
What about
That's easy to do. You can drop a match and walk away.
Racist crimes, like a guy alt-right guy who killed black people or something.
I think so.
That'd be
because because now you got to go to prison, and everybody knows this is why you're there, and odds are you became friends with a black dude, and it changed your life. Because I think a lot of people who are racist were just never really exposed to those type of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like growing up, how many black friends did you have? How many black friends did you have?
I have one, but he moved.
I had one.
Yeah.
I grew up kind of like you, in a very small town that was predominantly white.
Yeah. And so they're just not around. Like, not for me, it was black and white. There was no we had one like Latino family, and they were as coconut as they come. And then there was Juana's Wonton Inn was the Asian restaurant, and it was there my entire life, but I never remember meeting Asian people until other than going to that restaurant. But it wasn't like we went to school with them with their kids or anything like that. It wasn't until Sumsai, and then he left. We talked about him like last week, the kickball dude, and then he left, the Lao guy, and then that was it. There wasn't really a lot of Asians.
I didn't see a colored person until I was in
a colored person?
7th grade.
Who says
I want to
that?
say.
I haven't seen a colored person.
Well, I mean, I'm just
messing with you. Just call me like, oh, she say colored. But yeah, like,
and it was Somalians that first started migrating to the city that I lived in.
is there a packing house close?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there was
Several.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, and then after that, it was the Hispanics. And then by the time that I graduated, I think I was like, there was less than 5 colored people that graduated with me in my class.
So when you grew up, was there a lot of Asians? Or were you like
no, there was a brother and sister that were Korean. But they came here pretty much when they were born, and they got their citizenship and all that. And
so
their demeanor was,
they
they were white, so I don't really consider that Asian. I don't know if that's kind of
racist.
It's an Oreo.
The caste system.
White on the inside, yellow on the outside.
It's not an Oreo. This
Yellow
guy,
and
that's how racist. He didn't care. I don't care my racism's right. This is racist.
Well, they have those yellow vanilla cookies.
Twinkie.
Twinkies.
Is Twinkie coconuts or bananas? That's what you can use.
White on the inside, yellow on the outside.
Yeah.
Plenty of those. Remember when the term wigger was like totally acceptable?
It was never acceptable.
Yes, it was. It used to be totally acceptable. Everybody would use it. Wigger.
That is so derogatory because you're basically no one hates. The only thing white people hate worse than black people is white people that like black people. So it wasn't a term of endearment. It wasn't, oh man, I'm a wigger.
No, it was not a positive connotation.
I don't know any person that was running around calling, so, yo, what am I, wigger? No, that wasn't. I think it's still, there's no other, until another term replaces it, I think it's pretty much what it is, but
it doesn't get used anymore.
We should bring it back.
Wigger. Well, you got to find somebody who fits the term and be like, hey, what's up? Are you wigger?
We can try to find some. I'm sure somebody out there knows some.
Wigger. Yeah, that was like a thing like in like the mid 2000s. Like there was lots of, when Eminem got huge, all of a sudden there was lots of fucking dudes.
Oh, yeah.
White guys.
Before then, no real, you had Everlast.
Yeah.
That was it, huh? There was no real white rappers.
Beastie Boys.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about them. Yeah, they got love. They're also from
Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, Vanilla Ice was more of like he was like a, he wasn't really an artist. He was like a fad
performer.
Yeah,
but he came along with MC Hammer, which MC Hammer really didn't get a lot of love because he was kind of that pop cheesy rap. So he didn't get the street cred, even though he's from like fucking Oakland. But he didn't get the same type of love that like LL Cool J or a Public Enemy got.
Yeah.
So then I remember I saw him. It was the Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him tour. And Vanilla Ice was the opening act. That's when before anybody knew what Vanilla Ice was, I saw him open up for MC Hammer and killed it. But then he came out with the baggy pants like MC Hammer and the cheesiness and all that stuff. And then when he got accused of stealing the sample from Under Pressure, he lied. Like, no, theirs goes ding, 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 ding. But mine goes ding, 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 ding. Or something like that. He, like in an interview, we can look it up on YouTube. And so then he's got completely disrespected and no love because he started lying. And
ooh, I wonder how hard it would be just to have gotten that license. Be like, I need to use this.
Yeah, just would have asked. Because David Bowie's still alive and Queen's still around, so it's not like they weren't around. And all you gotta do is go to ASCAP or BMI, depending on who it's under, and just say, "Hey, can we use this?" And we'll give you a cut.
You just go to the record label.
But yeah, you were stealing, and it was a full like sample versus just a sound. You were using the entire bass line. And why would you just not just make one close to it?
Because he wanted to get that song because that song was huge right
Oh,
there.
it's ridiculous. If it comes out right now, everybody knows the words.
Yeah. So that was just a way of making a song, more popular. Like, oh shit, it's under pressure and it's Vanilla Ice. Oh my god.
Yeah, we got one of our own. What is the derogatory? Do you speak Thai or
Laos?
Lao? Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
What's the derogatory term for white person?
Buck cow.
The cow?
Buck
Cow.
Buck cow.
Is it Thai or is it Lao?
It's Laos.
So what's that's for? What does it mean?
It just means it. So buck is a word that is kind of like derogatory to call anyone.
What does it mean?
It's like fuck,
Or is
like a
it
fucker.
just like fucker. I don't know.
So it translates to like a bad word, like the fuck or shit or something like a.
It's a curse
No,
word.
it's like it's a term describing a man.
Buck.
Yeah.
So it means it's bad.
Cow is white.
You're a fucking whitey.
It's like a derogatory name aimed towards a white guy. Or yeah.
So you could do that to anybody. Buck, and then what's for black? What's the word for black?
Dumb.
Buck.
Wow. Dumb, really?
Buck
Yeah.
dumb. No, yeah, you do that to anybody.
Yeah.
Wow. Cow and dumb. Like you.
Yeah.
I don't
okay,
know.
is
I didn't make
dumb-
the language,
Is
so
dumb the term for the color?
Yes.
Or does it specifically mean a black person?
dumb. Yeah, it's the color black.
Okay.
Yep. I had to think about that for a minute.
So they weren't doing it on purpose. This is how it ended up.
Yep.
So.
It came from the color. Cow is from the color too.
Okay.
Yep.
So what is a derogatory term for like a wigger? So you have a
White guy
an
who wants to be
Asian
black.
who wants
Yeah.
to be. You got like a Lao that wants to be Chinese.
I don't
Does
know.
that
You would have
happen?
to ask my dad about that.
All right, call him.
You want to call your dad?
No, I don't want to call my dad right now. He's probably sleeping.
10:30. Wake him up.
Is it that? Oh yeah, the 10th of their time. Oh, we gotta go too. 'Cause you gotta.
I gotta do my paper.
Yeah. Next time we're gonna do homework on here. We'll get that'd be it.
Okay.
I was gonna ask that, but I got caught up in playing
Yeah.
around in this room and getting this room. Because it doesn't look like this all the time. It's getting to the point now that I still have 2 more boxes I need to.
I think that's the thing that I suffer most at when it comes to school is writing.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah. I
I can
don't really
bullshit
like
my-
writing at all.
Yeah.
I can
Right.
bullshit I can't type for shit though. That's my problem.
Mm.
That's why I got 2 books that I'm slowly creeping on, but it's just like by the time I get what I want to say, it's like, oh my god, I don't want to type anymore. I was thinking about using this. Like this is really comfortable, like this, and my computer's all right there. So
Mhm.
that's why I got the extra because that monitor, the third monitor over here, will swing out a little bit further.
Mhm.
I'll put a PlayStation in here, so this will be
Oh yeah.
my main cave. Oh my gosh, 2.5 hours. Okay, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
So all you buck cows and
Buck down.
buck dumbs out there, male. Okay. So if buck is the male version, what will be a female black person?
Just E
Cow and
cow, edam.
Edam.
If you want to be disrespectful, it's a way of it's kind of a disrespectful word.
Edam.
E and
cow.
buck. Yeah.
Okay, so it means a person, but it's like a stupid person,
Yeah. Yeah.
like Peckerwood. Cracker.
Peckerwood ain't like really an offensive term. Like we
There
refer to
isn't.
ourselves as
Yeah,
woods.
there isn't one.
Wood. So I roll with the woods.
Yeah, because that's how you know white privilege exists, because there's not a term that we can use to make you feel bad about who you are.
Yeah, every term that's out there, like cracker, the Peckerwood.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no good one because it's just like, that don't mean shit to me.
Yeah, who
There's-
are you to call me that?
Peckerwood, I kind of like that one.
Right.
Yeah, because we take it and then we're like, yeah, we're gonna use this. Thanks. And then we roll with it and then we're all the woods now.
Yeah, and no one cares. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
sad.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, it's well, you just gotta. I guess it sucks for black people. You don't really get to overcome that word. I mean, it's just too much.
But there's more in society that sucks than just the word. There's other ways to ruin my life and make me feel horrible and never even use that word.
Really? Like what?
I'm not going to give you any fodder, fucker. Like,
I'm just curious. See, what does it take to ruin your life?
all right, but Kyle, our show is over. Because now Steve's playing games and wants to take his racism to another level. So, anything else? Anybody else? Anything else anybody has to say?
No. I mean, I'm gonna hunt down maybe a couple killers and see if I can.
Hey, Dexter.
Yeah, see if I can get him, get some letters sent out or something, and make an initial contact and see if they're interested in talking about their crime. Because I don't really care about their reformation. I'm gonna have to make that clear. Like, I don't care about how reformed you are. I want to know specifically the details about the crime and how you were feeling, and all the details of what happened, and that's it.
Yeah, because there's a show on Netflix, Confessions of a Killer, or something like that. I love that show.
Yeah, it's good. Oh man, that'd be amazing if we could go there and mic him up.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Film him.
A lot of work though.
I mean,
just getting guesses are hard. Like getting interesting guesses is difficult. Because the lady who was supposed to come on today, she had a death in the family, and she was a Christian, like matchmaker type lady, and that was gonna be fucking Steve, man. And I thought it was just gonna be interesting. And she's like, "Oh, I have a sense of humor." She's like, "I don't cuss," and stuff like that. And then so right now, I'm working on probably the best guess I'll ever be able to snag. And this one of those ones like, if you don't ask, you don't know. So we'll see. And he'd message me. So hopefully we can get him on next week or the week after. I think we're out unless Jenny has something to say.
Nope. I'm good.
All right. You good, sir?
Okay. Adios, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah. And if you're listening to the podcast or on the video, like, subscribe, comments, all that fun stuff. Yeah. And that's that. Oh, and go to weirdedbeirdos.com. Sign up for our mailing list because someday we're going to give some giveaways and stuff like that. But people don't seem to like free stuff. So have a good night. See you next week.